Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It is Wednesday, November 19th. That is right. You've gotten a couple very quick episodes. This is dropping on Sunday, but we've been a little lazy to start the month, so we figured we would make it up for you guys. You are listening to the number one outdoor podcast in the world. I am one of your hosts, Adam Bartusek, and I am joined by my two compadres this week. We are all back. How's it going, fellas? We got Ryan Pinkala back from the Western States.
Hola. I didn't realize we were speaking so much Spanish on this show now, but I'm back and I'm ready for it. Bilingual, past the barb. I like it.
Yeah, you were gone for so long. And then Mr. Sam Sobiek, who we just recorded like 2 days ago.
It feels good. Adam and I are getting into a rhythm, but yeah, it feels good to have the trio back. This is truly the trio of the boys. And we've got a hard-hitting episode for you tonight with an incredible guest. And like Adam said, I'm going to reiterate, thank you. Thank you to each and every one of you that has made Past the Barb the number one outdoors podcast, I think on all streaming platforms. I think on one of them we had dipped down to 2, but now we're back up. We are number one on all streaming platforms.
I love it.
Podcast.
Incredible.
I love it.
Incredible.
And with that, too, we did get I got actually a lot of feedback of comments, DMs, and different stuff. Pink, I believe this is episode 97. Sobi and I at the end of the last episode started like throwing out like, oh, we have episode 100 coming up. We need to come up with some ideas. Like people hit us up.
Oh yeah.
It actually is shocking how many people do listen to the end too, because that was very much like 3 hours in and people were hitting me up. So, what are we thinking? Cause it's coming up. I mean, 3 episodes away, episode 100. We need people to give us ideas what we should do. What you got? Anything, Pink, or
people? Be a good one, man. I mean, I feel like live stream was on the table. I think something crazy like a 24-hour.
Some people said live stream. Pink quit his job. Live stream. Pink walking in and just quitting his job.
Live stream of Pink leaving his job.
Yeah.
That could be lit. I don't know if I got the Wi-Fi for that though, but I mean, shit, we could give her a go.
No, we were thinking live stream though, like live stream.
Yeah, a lot of people
live stream anywhere.
A lot of people did hit me up and say that they would love if we did a very long live stream with a bunch of our friends or like greatest guests and like just combine them and like a washing machine and bring everyone together and maybe do like a giant guest or something, like try to get a white whale. Try to get, someone like Mercer. Well, we've had, we can probably get Mercer anyways, but get Zona or someone said Steve Ranella.
Yeah. We could swing. I could see it. We got a little time to dial this in, but I like it. I like where this is going. I like the suggestions. We need PTB Nation to come up. We got Epi 1 Hundo coming. Come on.
Yeah, we could. I think like a potential like, I don't know, 6-hour live stream or something like that. We figure it out one day and just go ham, line up a bunch of different guests and degenerates and segments. And maybe there's like 4 different weigh-ins and we cut it up into different episodes. I don't know.
Okay. I like where your head's at with this. I think we can work that. But definitely get in the DMs. Send us all your ideas. We might need them all, to be honest here.
Yeah, we could also figure out something for this 100 stream. Maybe we come up with a pardon idea or a bargain idea for Sobi not doing his punishment still 18 months later.
I don't know, man.
Maybe during the live stream we have Sobi like go break through the ice and sit in the open water for a certain amount of time. I don't know.
You guys don't know. Maybe I'm hosting my own online tournament.
You're not.
It is the craze.
You're not. I mean?
Yeah,
I mean, would you guys say online tournaments are not good enough or not cool? Or
no, they're great.
Cool?
And they're definitely good, but you're not doing it.
Snoopy Pull tournament on Fish Donkey? Are you kidding me?
You're not. You're really easy to read when you have nothing planned and you're doing a bit, and this is you have nothing planned and you're doing a bit. I really thought you getting called out on. I really thought you getting called out on Bassmaster Live and everybody in the fishing community knowing that you're a pansy was gonna get you to do it, but apparently we're still here.
I literally have it written down. Like,
it's honestly incredible.
Stay planned bit.
You just wrote that.
No.
He's acting. Look, I got it tatted on my arm, dude.
Oh, man.
It actually would mean more if he had it written on his hand, because he writes it on his hand after every episode.
I literally watched you
and
write
I get
that.
The
Like, look, I had it written down.
And I get the thumbnails. I still haven't gotten the fishing punishment or this other stuff. So if it's on his hand,
I didn't write it down.
Oh God. But yeah, so everybody needs to harass Sobe more. I don't know what we're gonna do. I don't know. Maybe we should get a dunk tank to the St. Paul Ice Show or something and put him through that.
I
just
have
like
wanted
a taser.
that.
Or a taser.
I do kind of think the idea of doing a taser would be incredible.
I have an idea.
All right.
I have an idea. Sobe, we will pardon you from this bet. However, Pink
Can you get
and I
tased
will
at the
bring
St. Jude thing?
Me and Pink will bring a low-grade taser to the St. Paul Ice Show. We will give it to the first 3 PTB fans that come up to me or Pink, and they are allowed to tase you at random during the show.
No. Save that for a St. Jude fundraiser. Like, you know how like Griff will donate a guide trip, or Leesburg, or people like will donate these high-level prizes, and I just donate like a police grade.
God, I kind of like this.
Tasing of
I kind of
I
like
really
this.
think
let
this
that
is
sit on
even
the
better.
silent auction.
And I think this can get you out of the fishing tournament.
Yeah, I would allow this.
I think this would be fantastic.
I have something planned.
No, you don't.
It doesn't matter.
I legitimately do not believe you.
That's exactly where I want you.
I put some serious money down that this taser thing happens before anything you're talking about.
Actually, here's the deal. We don't need Sobe's permission to do the taser thing. Pink, I say that we tell the PTB fans that if if we like this idea, we can just roll with it. And then we at least get the satisfaction out of it, because the punishment is supposed to be
here
funny
for it. This would be great for me.
Actually, I think.
All right, so Ryan, you were just traveling. Where were you traveling to?
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I do think, Ryan, we might want to just look into this, and you and I do this, because the whole point of this punishment is for us to get satisfaction while the other person has to do something not fun. So we could just do this and then it's done. And
no, it's good. I have like a to-do list here of some social media things, and I'll just write taser and put a little star by it, and we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah. So that may or may not happen.
Is not just brutally punished before me. If you don't do this in order with Stolsky, like this is just, then it's out of order.
Could you just imagine like a long lens just a long lens video from Boots at the St. Paul Ice Show of him just hiding, and we just see one PTB fan with the taser in their hand just licking their chops.
Just a nice crackle.
And just go right up
come to St. Paul Ice Show with a bunch of security, and I just brief him like, dude, don't shut this down. I know something's gonna happen, dude. Like, I paid you guys all $500 for the weekend.
We should
shut it down.
Because the best part is Sobe or Pink, if we go through saying we're gonna do this, he's gonna actually believe it the whole St. Paul show, and he's gonna be so paranoid.
This just in Sam Sobe announced his fish donkey tournament the next day.
All right, we're gonna hear about Pink's Montana hunt, but I think we've stumbled into a fantastic option.
Yeah, this is great. This is great. I like this.
All right, yeah. Let us know if you guys like that idea. Maybe we'll roll with that. I think we might. Something similar. We'll come up with something. Sobe won't approve, but it's been 18 months, and we have the best fans in the world, and he still hasn't.
We're beyond where we need approval.
Yes.
Current events. We've got guests. Let's keep the show rolling.
You lose consent after 12 months.
I think that was written in there. Small, but it was there.
Wait, who lost this year in fantasy?
We didn't have a bet. It was me.
What?
Oh, Barty did.
Oh, we were going to leave it up to the PTB folks. I'm not saying you have to do yours before mine. I get it, but I think.
Yeah, but we never even made a bet. I didn't sign up for anything. I literally said in June, I said, Sobe, if you don't do your thing, I'm not doing whatever the bet is because you haven't completed yours. I'm good. Pink remembers that. We didn't even agree to a bet.
I don't know. I just I haven't lost, so this hasn't become an issue for me.
Yeah.
All right, current events. Bart, we'll start with you.
Well, I think we should just listen
keep it short and sweet because Ryan's got.
I don't got it. I mean, I've been sick. That's Sobe. You and I kind of talked about what we've been up to in our last episode. I think we want to kick it off with Pink. Tell us what has been going on in your world.
Well, I definitely missed the last episode, dude. But I've been hunting. Pretty much that's it. And I missed. I did not listen to the last pod, but I know Sobe had some deer action success, whatever. That I need to watch videos or re-listen or something. I need to hear how it goes down because he never texts me anything ever. So I don't know about that, but
I wasn't texting anybody anything. Don't feel horrible.
We did.
I even texted you directly. Dude, I had action and I was texting you. But I was hunting in Minnesota first, so I hunted opening first 3 days of the season in Minnesota here. So I don't think I've been on a pod since then, but yeah, we had some action. I shot a pretty nice buck on actually opening day in the evening. It was pretty sweet.
Which number of the bucks was that you wanted to shoot? Because we were shooting some other stuff before, shooting video of stuff before that, and you were showing me bucks, and you were like, I have 3 really good ones.
Yeah, so we were hanging out the day before this, I think. And I had at least 3 really, really nice ones that I've been kind of watching on trail cameras and stuff all fall. And then this one was a little further down the list. He was probably number maybe 5 or 6 on we had a lot of bucks showing up. But he was a pretty nice one that he had just showed up randomly maybe a week or 2 prior to the season, and he was poking around just following some does around and stuff, and I was like, ooh, if that one shows up, he's probably in trouble, and it worked out pretty sweet. I actually, most of the stuff that I had set up was basically opening weekend, at least in the area I'm hunting, was we had a lot of north wind. And I don't know if Sam down, I've got to think it was pretty similar. We're not hunting that far apart, but most of my setups are not for the wind that we had on opening weekend. And I had very limited days to hunt. I was going to basically hunt the first 3 days of the season, and then that was it. Because I had this other trip coming up and everything. And so I was like, all right, if I get a good crack at a decent one, I'm just going to, make it happen. And I ended up putting up a stand in a different location for opening morning, and it just was the whole morning just oh dude, this is just not the deal. The wind was weird and everything, and I sat there just for the first couple hours, and I saw I think 2 does or whatever, and I'm just this doesn't feel right, this isn't the deal. So I this is what I was going to bring up before, but I was dude, I was sitting up there and I'm dude, I know there's so many freaking bucks around this property. And there's this particular piece that I'm hunting is a lot of CRP with a lot of topography. There's some major hills and drainages in it, so you can't really see a lot of it from any one spot. And I was screw it. I'm just going to Like the wind sucks to sit on basically any stand that I have right now. And instead of just trying to do some hang and hunt thing, I'm like, I'm going ground game. Like I was like Chansey mode activated. And so I got down because I'd been bow hunting for like, I don't know, I'd maybe done like a dozen sits leading up to that. And I shot one doe with a bow and just never really had any great opportunities on bucks. And I was just like the whole time thinking like, God, I know they're using the CRP a lot. So I just got down out of this stand and basically made a play to just go up to the furthest north end of this property. And just the wind was like, I'll say it was like northwest, kind of a little more north, whatever. I was like, I'm going to get way on the northeast corner of this and just kind of like see what happens. Just kind of watch this grass thing. If I see something, I'll make a play because there's plenty of like drainages and stuff. So I got up there and right away I got into a deer on my way up there. But it was a doe, like out in the wide open. And so I kind of was like making a stalk on it. And I was like, not really like I was going to shoot it, but I was like, all right, I'm going to see how close I can get. And then I figured if I got like chip shot close, I might take a shot. Even though it's like it's where we're hunting is a shotgun zone. So it's like you can shoot decently far, you know, but it's not like archery. So I got up there and I got within probably like maybe 80 yards of this deer. And then it goes into some taller grass and I lost it. And I'm like, God, I can't believe it could have got by me. But I'm like, potentially it bedded there. I'm not really sure, whatever. But I was just going to go up to, there's a fence line, barbed wire right on the north end of this property. So it's like CRP and it ends at a cut cornfield and it's just stubble. Like, and that's on the neighboring property. So I get up there and I literally just tuck into that fence line because I'm like, all right, I'm just going to sit here and watch for a little bit and just see what happens. Because it's the rut, you know, like anything could happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I get up there and I actually had a trail camera up on like a gap in the fence. And I'd gotten some pictures like within the past few days of some really nice bucks. They were all after dark. And I'm like, I feel like they're still up in this area, but I just haven't like seen them, you know, in daylight on the cameras. So I got up there, got just basically like leaning up against this barbed wire fence and like not long into sitting there, all of a sudden there is the deer that I was trying to kind of make a play on before is now just standing there at like 20 yards. And it's this doe just standing like right in front of me. She hasn't made me yet. She's just like slightly downhill, just standing there. And then she comes in beds in the fence row that I'm in. Like I'm literally in the tall grass along this fence. She beds at like 17 yards right next to me. And I'm like, oh shit. Okay. And so I was like, well, at least I have like an actual deer like before my scent, you know. I'm like, if something's coming through, at least there's this doe bedded here. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm just gonna try to like ride this out as long as I can because I'm like, if the wind swirls, it's game over. Like this thing's gonna blow up. And so now I'm like kind of tucked in there and I'm just waiting and I'm kind of keeping just like an eye on all this other grass out in front of me. I saw one other small buck. He just came out and then just kept continuing like further away from me, but he never like winded me, never smelled this other doe, whatever. And it's getting like on through the afternoon now. This deer is like literally, it is just sitting right next to me like the whole time. So I'm kind of like looking at it through my binos, like keeping an eye on like, okay, its head's facing away. I can move, whatever. And luckily it was pretty windy, so it kept the noise down a lot. But now it's like getting on. It's probably in the last hour of legal shooting light. And I was like, all right, if it gets down to the last like 10 minutes and this deer's still sitting here and nothing's happened, I'm like, I'm gonna make a play and shoot this deer right now, you know, right here. And I'm leaning up against this thing and it gets down to like maybe 45 minutes before last light. And I'm leaning up against this. It's like a steel fence, you know, the little T-post fence posts on barbed wire fence. I'm leaning up against it. And all of a sudden the whole fence just vibrates. And the fence post I'm leaning on literally like knocked me in the back of the head. Okay. And I'm like, holy shit. Like something just jumped over the fence, like super close to me. And so I'm like staring at this deer that's bedded here. And I literally got whacked in the back of the head by the fence post I was leaning against. And it's like the whole thing is vibrating. And I'm like, holy shit. Like they're right. Whatever just jumped over is like right here. So I'm just like slowly, like kind of turning my eyes, like trying not to move. Cause I'm like, they must be like super close. And
Yeah.
like, I'm not seeing anything. I'm not like hearing anything, but I'm looking at the deer that's bedded literally 17 yards. And she is looking straight back behind me, but not at me. And I'm like, oh my God, she's looking right at whatever just crossed this fence. So I'm looking at her. She's looking back here. And I just like slowly turning my head. And then I can just see like this dark body, like very close. Right. And I'm like, oh my God, there's a deer like right here. But I couldn't tell what it was yet. So eventually I get my head like turned all the way around and I can see there's a doe bedded. And there's this buck standing right over top of her, like all bristled up. He had like his whole neck hackle up and everything. And he would look like badass. And they're at like 40 yards, right immediately next to me. And like so there's one deer bedded in front of me and these two are now right next to me in the grass and my wind is blowing directly between them. And I'm like, this could not be like a better situation right now. But I'm totally like, I have no, like, I cannot move. Right. I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm
Especially
literally
because like you could probably shoot to the left really easy, but you have to probably make a weird turn. Right?
Yes. I have to basically, it's my offhand side. So I literally would have to go like 180 to shoot. And I'm right on the property line. So like these deer just jumped onto the property that I can hunt. And they're 40 yards next to me on the ground. And there's not a tree for 200 yards. I am in the absolute wide open grass. And I'm sitting next to one clump on this fence line. And I'm like, holy shit. Okay. So and then I turn, I'm looking, they're both, the doe is bedded facing away. The buck is looking out into the grass. So I got 3 deer within 40 yards of me. They're all looking not at me. And I'm like, all right, I just need to like make my play here. So I totally get like, I'm like inching, getting turned around. And I literally got my gun up, put the crosshairs on him. And dude, never even moved. He's just standing there all bristled up. Like, I don't know if he could see another buck or what the deal was, but he's literally standing like almost on top of this doe bedded, just quartering away from me. And I put it right on his shoulder and let him have it, dude. And it was like a very actually pretty intense moment, but he wheeled up on his hind legs all crazy or whatever. And he ran about 30 yards and just crashed right out in the grass right there. And then obviously the other deer just take off, explode out of there. Like they didn't know what happened. And so I get out and then I'm like, holy shit. Like that was pretty crazy. Right. And so I get over there and he was dead instant, like right away. He literally went 30 and just wiped out. And so I go out, I kind of walk out into the grass and I'm kind of like, holy shit, that was wild. And there's like deer all over the CRP field. Like there's like, I think I saw like 3 other bucks out in that field after I shot them that were smaller or whatever. But I think there was just a couple of hot does that were using that field and they were just there, but it was honestly super crazy. And I had I got in a really cool trail camera video of that buck, like I think the day before, maybe in that exact same spot, but it was after dark. But it was just, dude, it was honestly crazy that they came and like literally jumped the fence. And there's like even the other side of the fence is just this huge open stubble field. I don't even know where they came from because I never saw them coming. All of a sudden, the fence just like literally whacked me in the head, and I was like, "Holy shit, there's deer right here!" So it was pretty cool that it all came together. But yeah, really nice 10-pointer. So that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
We got him taken care of that night and everything, got him cut up. But yeah, man, it was a super fun hunt. And then there was just like, after that, our action on that property really went like down big time. Like I think some of the bucks maybe just like had does and just stayed in the thick stuff. And
what about like, your dad? Did he have any interactions?
So let's see. So I think the next day, so on Sunday, he did have a shot at a really big buck that just didn't connect. It was kind of a long shot, but that was the only other like shooter buck that we saw. But it was one that we never even had pictures of, just an absolute mega that ended up coming out in that exact same field, actually, that CRP grass. And he ended up getting a crack at it the next morning and just didn't get him. So I don't know if if he's going to keep hunting down there or not. Like obviously the season goes longer still, but yeah, that was the only deer we shot on our opening weekend. But it was freaking exciting. It was pretty badass having them that close and like right there and seeing a buck just kind of doing its thing, like right in your grill, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, and huge I think I sent you guys some pictures, but just a massive body on this thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it was super cool. Super cool. So so did that. And then I just had a couple days to basically get everything taken care of. Cause then on Wednesday, we went out to Montana. So this was me and my dad and my girlfriend, Nicole. And this one I was like kind of pumped for, but also like a little bit like, all right, this needs to like go good, you know, because this was like her first basically like legit hunt ever.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, this will be cool. So we rolled out there. It was just a deer hunt. My dad had a general deer tag for Montana. So that's basically you can shoot a buck, whitetail or mule deer buck or a whitetail doe. It's kind of how the tag goes. And then me and Nicole both had whitetail doe tags. So we went out there and basically we hunted mule deer for the first 2 days. Just trying to like kind of collectively like glass and just cover ground to just see if we could find a nice buck. And it was tough. It was tough. I mean, Eastern Montana, the deer population is down like quite a bit right now, but there's still plenty of deer out there to hunt. But you definitely need to be willing to hike a lot, and that's what we did. And I think we were doing like doing like 6 to 8 miles a day of just like hiking ridges and stuff and glassing and doing that kind of thing. But first couple days we saw a decent number of deer, just nothing real great. So first day we did a bunch of hiking, just covered ground. Second day we actually turned up a really nice buck, like just a good shooter, nice big 4x4 in the morning. So we were all sitting on these different knobs glassing, and I gave Nicole my spotting scope. We had seen a couple of does and then one small buck. And all of a sudden she's watching this buck in the spotter. And we're like, yeah, I don't know, he looks pretty small, whatever. And then another deer showed up and she's like, this one looks a lot bigger, whatever. We checked it out in the spotter and it was like a definite shooter, like really nice muley buck. But it was about it was like a mile away on like in a significant like up and down several really steep drainages. There was one other group of hunters in that kind of section, but from what we could tell, they didn't spot this deer. So we're like, let's make a play on it and just go, because we kind of would have to go like past where they are, but they had made a move in a different direction, and we're like, they definitely didn't see this deer. So we took off and we're like almost running to get up to this ridge line where we spotted them, because they had just crested over into another valley, and we're like, we got to get there and re-find them. And so we just took off and we got up there and we got just about to the spot, and we ended up running into the small buck that he was just with and a doe. So we kind of held up for a little bit. We watched them, which was cool. We got to like maybe like 80 yards on them and kind of let it play out, but we never refound the buck, unfortunately. So that plays on, whatever. And we end up hiking out of there and spending the afternoon going to look for whitetails, because in this particular area, it's like they're in distinctly different areas. Like you couldn't really double up and kind of hunt both species in one spot. So we're like, all right, let's at least go give it an effort to see if we can find some. And we had one good opportunity where we got to like 40 yards on 2 does and a nice whitetail buck, which we only had doe tags, but I was really trying to get her an opportunity to like get one, and she didn't feel super comfortable taking like an offhand shot, like standing and shooting. Like she really wanted to shoot off of a bipod and the whole thing. That's what she'd been practicing. So whatever, we got to like 40 yards on these deer, but we just couldn't make it happen because it was just not the right situation. Okay, whatever. So that's like end of day 2. Day 3, we kind of split up. We're like, all right, we're going to go do our thing. And my dad was going to hunt muleys. And so we ended up going down along this river bottom area, and like we're getting into deer, but we're finding bucks. And it was just like kind of frustrating, because it's like, usually that would be awesome. But in like this scenario, you just have doe tags and you're like finding these whitetail bucks all over the place. So it was fun though. Like we were getting some good, like she was definitely getting some good experience, like getting on deer and like, you know, the whole thing. So that was cool. And it was getting kind of down to the wire, and we're like, okay, we got basically 2 days left, and like we got to make something happen here. We still got 3 tags, and we're at our last spot of the day on day 3 there, and my dad hit us on the in reach that he just shot a deer. And we're like, oh, sweet. All right, we got one, got something down. And we were able to get a call out to him a little later. And he's like, yeah, I just shot this buck. And like, luckily I knew exactly where he was because it was a spot we'd shot a deer like previously. But I was like, okay, that's a pretty good hike in there. And he was like, yeah, if you guys like, when you guys get back to camp, you should like hike up here, help me with it. And I'm like, okay, well, we're like probably a half hour to 45-minute truck ride from our base camp. So we get back to the truck at dark. We get in the truck, we drive all the way to our base camp, unload all our crap, dump our packs out, and then hike in. So now it's like well after dark. So we make this several mile hike into the spot where he's at. Luckily, we found him pretty quickly. And we're like, okay, so we get up there and I'm thinking like, oh, dude, all right, we're going to show up and we're going to have this deer all cut up. We'll just load our backpacks and get out of there. And we get there and it was like the whole deer still. So we had to still had to cut it up. And I was like,
you're like, what was your dad doing? Just chilling?
Oh, he was pumped. Yeah. He's smiling and shit. And he's like, what's up? And I get there and I'm like, dude, come on. Like, you have like hours, man. But whatever.
Like, I just been looking at it.
Yeah. Well, he
still dead.
He drug it up to the top of the ridge at least, so we didn't have to drop down to go get it. But yeah, so we butchered it right there, whatever, loaded our meat bag. So it ended up being a pretty late night. But it was sweet. We were all pumped. And we got back to camp wicked late and cooked tenderloins and all just like passed out. And so it was pretty fun. And then we're like, all right, that was on Saturday. So Sunday was kind of our like, all right, we gotta make this happen day. Cause really we were like, we had to get out of there Monday morning, no matter what.
Yeah.
So it was like, we had to make a play. We go down to this, there's like different types of public hunting land in Montana, but there is this area, what's called block management. It's basically like a lot of it can be like private land that's open to public hunting, whatever. Anyways, we get on this chunk of block management in the morning and we're glassing around and there's a lot of whitetails around and we're like, okay, this is good. We just need to get them in a good spot. Well, we kind of stumble into this area that looked really good. We didn't have a play on the deer though, because they were in the absolute wide open, not a lot of topography. And we're like, God, I don't know how we're going to get to them. Like there's a bunch of them, but like we have zero play. So we were thinking, okay, eventually they're going to bed. And then maybe we can get in there in the middle of the day and like set up for them to come out for the afternoon. So we're in there and we kind of are letting this play out. We end up driving down to another section of kind of like river bottom. And we go hike for a little bit. We don't see any deer. We're coming out and this other truck is pulling in to so like a lot of these areas are cattle ranches. So there's gates like everywhere, every road you come into, there's a gate or a cattle guard or something. So we go to open the gate. We're going to drive out. So we're going to open the gate. This other truck is pulling in and we start chatting with the guy. And he's like, he's pretty cool. We're just chatting, hunting, whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, you guys kicked a buck and a doe out of there, which we never saw. And he's like, yeah, they were hauling ass like out into that big grass out there. And whatever, we get to chat and yada, yada. We're talking about some other stuff. He's like, yeah, I've been elk hunting, blah, blah, whatever. Okay, cool. So pretty normal like thing. So we keep driving. And we get back up on this road where we had glassed those deer before, and we're going to try to just like figure out where exactly we needed to be, like pin the spot on the map. We're sitting there, and now it's been like probably half hour, 45 minutes, and the same truck pulls right up to us next to us on the road. And he's like, he rolls his window down, we roll down, and he's like, oh, you guys, we told him we're looking for some whitetail does or whatever. And he's like, oh, are you guys going after your doe? And we're like, oh, we're trying to figure out a play here. And like, we glassed them up or whatever. And he's like, well, those two you guys kicked out of that river bedded right on the other side of this rise from where you guys are parked at. He's like, I watched him go and bed out in the grass out there. And we're like, oh, sweet. Okay. So we back up, like we go up the road and get on this vantage point and we get the glass out and we're looking and we re-find them. So they're bedded out in this big grass flat wide open. And it's like the middle of the day. It's like probably 11:30 noon, somewhere in there. And we're like, all right, we got to figure out how to make a play on these. And we do, basically, we figure out if we go around the back of this hill and we get up on top, we might be able to get within rifle range of them. But there's nothing. I mean, there's not a bush. There's nothing. It's like 8-inch tall grass for miles. So we drive up to the other end and we make what's going to be like a half a mile loop into this area. And like going into this, we're like, okay, we got to get, this is like our best opportunity to get Nicole probably a shot where she gets to be like laying down on a bipod and like take a shot, you know? And dude, I'm like, I've gone into a bunch of stocks before and been fairly nervous on like bucks or whatever, you know, elk, shit like that, where you're like, okay, like this is my moment. But dude, this was like a different deal. Like I was like anxiety level maximum, right? I'm like, oh
you
my
want
God,
this
dude,
to
like,
work, dude.
I want this to work so bad. And I'm like, this is of the whole trip, this is the best opportunity that we've got, right? Because they're bedded, they don't know where, you know, even nothing. So we make this, and all three of us are gone. So we make this hike out there. We're getting just to the crest of this little, it's like not much of a hill, dude, like just enough that they're not visible to us. And we get out there and then we're like, okay, we need to probably make it another 100, 150 yards, but we have to crawl because there's nothing left. So now we're crawling and it's all like it's grass this tall and just like cactuses everywhere. Like all these little prickly pear cactus. So we're crawling through that and it's like you're getting stabbed here and whatever, this whole thing. And we're easing up there. And then eventually we get to where we can see the buck. So there was a buck and a doe bedded. We can see the buck very clearly, like he's bedded right on the edge of this little bit thicker clump of grass, and we're ranging. And then we're like, okay, we got to 250 yards. And she was like, if we can get 200 or less, I feel comfortable with that. That's what she'd been practicing. We're like, okay, well, damn, there's not a lot of 50 yards left here that we can like do anything with. So we end up like literally now we are in the absolute wide open. Like we have not even this hill anymore. Like we've gone beyond the like vantage we had and we're just inching like one little inch at a time going forward, slide the gun up a little bit, crawl a little more, slide, you know, doing this whole thing. And I'm like, my heart is beating in my throat, dude. Cause I'm like at any moment, this is going to blow up. Cause I'm like, we can see the buck. I have no idea where the doe is. And I'm like, she could be looking right at us and I have no idea. And so it's like very tense. And I'm like, oh my God, like trying to play it cool, like everything's fine. But luckily the buck is bedded facing away from us. So we get to 200, we're at 208 yards. And I'm like, I do not think we can get any closer. Cause like, and the more we drop down this hill, there's like a barbed wire fence that's coming into play. And we're like, we can't get to where this fence is going to obscure any kind of shot. You know what I mean? And so we're kind of there and we're like, hey, just set up and just like, you know, get set up at least on the buck. So you feel comfortable, like, you know, looking, you know, get your gun where it needs to be, the whole thing. Cause we're like, the doe was here somewhere. Cause when we glassed them before the stock, they were only like 20 or 30 yards apart. And, so she's like, yep, I feel good. Like all this. And she was like very calm and it was cool. And I'm like, all right. And now me and my dad are kind of like having this little side conversation. Like, how are we going to get this doe to stand up? Like without blowing this whole thing up? Cause we can't just lay out here all day. You know what I mean? Like something eventually is going to happen that screws this whole thing up. And, luck would have it, all of a sudden out of just like, we're kind of having this conversation about like, I don't know, maybe we could do this, maybe we could do that. All of a sudden it just stands up and it's way closer to us than the buck is. And I'm like, holy shit, like this is perfect. You know, like I have no idea how we couldn't see her, but she just stands up, starts kind of feeding around. Now I look over and I can see, so like Nicole, like every time we had like an opportunity on a deer, like a buck or something that we couldn't shoot, we're just like, hey, get set up, you know, like you were gonna take a shot, you know, just to like get some reps in, just like, because we didn't have a bullet chambered or anything. We're like, just get set up, aim at it through the scope, just like go through the motions, right? And every time she's like, yeah, that felt good, that was comfortable. This doe stands up, panic mode, like everything went out the fucking window. Like
it's the green light,
like, dude. She's got the legit green light.
Like this is it, dude. Like this is the moment. And I'm like, holy shit. And it's like not a chip shot, right? It's like 200 yards. So she's on the gun, the whole thing. And I'm like, and I did such a bad job, but I got like I filmed like this happen. Okay. because I'm like, I want this moment at least, because like we didn't really do a good job like filming the whole trip or whatever, but I was like, this is what I want to get. And so we get set up on it, and she's like very nervous. We're trying to like calm her down, whatever. And she shoots, and like nothing happens. And I'm like, okay, like reload, because you definitely didn't like it was definitely a miss, right? The first shot. But the deer didn't know what like neither one of the deer knew what happened. I don't even think the buck stood up at this point. Like, even though we took this shot, but it's pretty windy, whatever, right? And I just think they couldn't tell where it came from. So the doe's just standing there, and she's actually looking directly away from us, but she's broadside. So she reloads, she gets back on it, and we're just like, and you know how it is. Like, if you take a shot, your follow-up shot is never as good as your first one. Like when you just were like trying to collect yourself. So now your adrenaline's going, the whole thing. And I'm like, please let this happen, you know? But she gets set up on it, and she was like, you know, breathing good. And I'm like, all right, you know, whenever you're ready. And I'm just like watching this thing, and I'm like, all right, she's going to do this. This is going to be sweet. She takes the shot, and like this deer just pile drives into the ground. Right. And I'm like, oh yeah. And I'm like, okay, but it's kind of like, it kind of gets up and it's moving along and kind of whatever. And I'm like, okay, it's hit hard. You know what I mean? Like this is good. Well, it's kind of going along. Well, now the buck is like pushing the doe, because it's like, you know, this is rutting buck that's been chasing this thing around. So the doe is kind of stumbling around, and she goes and she beds down right away. I'm like, okay, all right. Okay. We got a good hit on it and the whole thing. And she had some very mixed feelings, because she felt like she didn't make a great shot, and like it should have died right away. And I'm like, sometimes it doesn't go that way, you know, kind of thing. But like we got this thing's hit hard. It bedded right away. So maybe a couple minutes goes by, and we're glassing it, and it was in its bed, but it was still head up. But luckily the buck was actually still right there, so it made it like easy to see where it was. So we're like, okay, let's just move it. Like, we're in such open country here, and like it's not horribly far to where like property boundaries are going to come into play on this. And we're like, let's just get down there and get a follow-up shot on it, because like I don't want this going sideways, you know? So we get down onto this flat, and we're like moving in on it, and they're like not running away, nothing, because the doe is bedded, the buck is just staying with it. So we actually end up getting fairly close. They bump one time, rebed right away. We get within rifle range. We get set up again, and I had my gun too, and I'm like, let's just get set up. I'm like, if this whatever happens, we just need to get another shot on this deer. So we're at like maybe 100 yards. And the doe gets out of its bed, whatever. We end up shooting it again, and it goes down like immediately. We're like, oh God, thank God. Like we got it done, you know? And, but yeah, it was like, I don't know, the first time she ever killed anything, whatever. We go up there. She was kind of this mixed emotions of like, I didn't make the most awesomest shot ever, but it was like good enough, you know, this whole thing. She's like just kind of hard on herself about that, but it was still a cool moment. Like we had this deer down, and we celebrated a little bit, and so we get down there, and now the buck that was with her just keeps coming back. Like he's trying to get back to where the doe is. So this buck's hanging around us forever at like 50 yards. Like he won't leave. So eventually we like get him to run away or whatever. But like, yeah, it was kind of crazy. So we're debating, because we didn't bring our packs or anything on this stock, because we knew it was going to be this like we're crawling business. So we go through all that, and we're like, let's just drag it as far as we can drag it, and then we'll just cut it up wherever we end up. And we actually ended up dragging it all the way back to the truck, like basically to the last fence row there. And then we just butchered it there and hung all the meat in the truck. So we like put all the quarters and meat bags and stuff. And I think just kind of got it hung up, because it was pretty cool still that day. And we're like, all right, it should be fine. We'll just hang it all in the topper and be good. And the play was like, okay, well, that worked out perfect. Like it was awesome. That dude telling us that those freaking deer bedded in that wide open was like awesome, because it ended up literally panning out for us. But then like we still had the deer that we glassed up in the morning, and we really didn't get into that area at all. And I'm like, let's still try it. You know, like if all we need to do is get there before like the last, you know, probably hour or so of light. Hopefully they don't come out in time. So we grab our stuff, like backpacks, the whole thing. And we start heading in there, And we're like, everyone's kind of excited now. Like, okay, we got 2 deer down. We got 1 tag left, and we're hiking in there. And we're like maybe 200 yards from the spot. And all of a sudden this mule deer doe stands up. And I'm like, okay, well, we can't shoot that, but it's like, it's kind of looking right at us. We're kind of just kind of weighing our options. And it's like, screw it. If it runs away, whatever. I don't think it's going to booger anything. But we're like continuing slowly. And like I said, we're in the pretty wide open here. We're just going up to this little brush line that we think all these deer bedded in. We get to like 180 yards from the spot we wanted to sit down. And all of a sudden the deer just start walking out of the brush line right where we were going to sit, basically. And we all just like get on the ground, basically. I'm like, shit, they're like, and they're all whitetails. They're coming out. And I'm like, oh my God. And like if we were 5 minutes earlier, they'd have been in our lap. You know what I mean? So I pretty much got set up right away, and I'm like, we got to try to make this happen, because they're either gonna see us or this is not gonna go good. So I got set up, and I was trying to like lay down and shoot off my bipod, but the grass was a little too tall. So I ended up setting my pack up, putting the rifle on top of the pack, and just kind of trying to get a good rest there. Whatever, one of the does comes out broadside. And I was on it, and I'm like about to squeeze the trigger, and she turns away, and so I'm kind of just like looking at this one. Now another deer comes out, looking at that one. Eventually I get one broadside, and it was under, I don't know exactly the range, but it was under 200, like probably like 180-ish, 160-ish, somewhere in there. And I got to where I felt pretty good on my pack, and I let one rip. And the deer kind of like went down, and then just like basically made one bound behind. And we're like, okay, like that seemed good. And so get up right away, and I can see it laying down, like head on the ground, like laying down next to this fence. And we moved to try to get a better look at it. It got out of its bed and made like 2 bounds across this fence, and then went out of sight, like just into this little thing of brush. It went like 40 yards. And I'm like, that's a dead deer for sure. Like it bedded instantly, like the shot felt good, this whole thing. But we get up there, and basically this fence row is the boundary of this block management area. And in the state of Montana, it's like you have to have permission to access private land, even to recover like an animal, right? So I'm like, fuck, like this is going to be a whole thing now, because we don't act like we saw it go into this pocket of brush, but I'm like, I can't, it's not like I see it right there. Like it just went like 40 yards, and now I can't see it anymore. And we're kind of weighing that whole thing. And like, there's, I'm just like, we're going to have to, we got to do this the right way, so we're looking up, I got the property owner on X and the whole thing. And we're like, shit, we're going to have to hike out of here and go talk to this, whatever. And, so we're mulling that over. I'm trying to we're like trying to find a phone number for the ranch, whatever, the whole thing. And just like, we cannot get a hold of anybody, but we have an address to this ranch that's like 15 miles away. So we hike all the way out of there. And this is like, now it's like right before dark. So we hike out, we drive up to this ranch. Luckily somebody's there. They get up to the thing, and I chat with this lady at the ranch, and she gave us permission to go in there. Okay, cool. So we drive all the way back down there, hike all the way in there in the dark. And luckily we crossed the fence, go in there. We got a dead deer laying there. And it was like, oh, thank God. Like nice. It was just like a total rodeo the last day getting these deer down.
Secured.
Oh, dude, it was like, yes, thank God. So, yeah, but I was getting a little worried, because
nicely done to your dad,
like,
Nicole, and you.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we ended up shooting 3 deer. Super cool. It was a fun hunt. It was like totally didn't even feel like deer hunting out there. It was so warm. Like we had really pretty warm conditions. Normally it's very cold in Montana this time of year. But yeah, we had a good camp, and then we ended up, my dad had actually gotten a Christmas tree permit for the national forest. So that was our 4th tag, was we went up and harvested a national forest Christmas tree and punched our Christmas tree tag.
That's
so
awesome.
We
chopped
one
cool.
down.
That's cool.
How many
cool
preference points did he have to burn to get that?
Yeah, it was 10 points, 10-point tree there. Yeah,
I can just see the neighbors coming over, but that's a lovely tree. It's from Montana, harvested it.
Yeah, it's
no big deal.
Yeah, no big deal. No big deal. But it was fun, because we went hiking around, and
you've seen yellow.
Well, and he's a tree guy, right? Like, so he does for a living. He's a arborist. So it's like he's very particular about trees and stuff. So we're like hiking around. Like there's thousands of goddamn trees.
Like, he's like, no.
Yeah, we're hiking. Yeah, no, needs this specific thing. It's got to.
I'm gonna pass on that one.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. But it's like they give you like a legit tag for it and everything. It's like very legit. So that was cool. But yeah, we chopped this tree down and took it down to our camp, and it was all cool. But yeah, it was super fun, and I think it took maybe like a day for it to kind of like soak in. And Nicole was pretty pumped about it. Like, you know, after that, the first day, just kind of letting the whole experience happen, I think was a lot, but she was pretty pumped with all the meat and how it all played out, and it was cool. So, but
That's
super
awesome,
cool, man. And great hunt, at least awesome hunt to kind of end the trips for the fall and everything. And yeah, we got a ton of meat, which I'm super excited about. And we kind of got that mix of like whitetail and mule deer and whatever. And so we actually, right before the pod, just got done cutting up the last of the meat. So yeah, we're good to go, man. But,
hell yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, now we know what Pink's been up to.
That's what I've been up to. Yeah.
Now he's back. And now I think we'll make our guest wait for one more minute while we take care of business and do a little bit of an ad read.
Yeah.
Because our boy, yeah, I mean.
Oh, our guest is here. He's behind.
He's
backstage.
He's been listening to Pink's story. Yeah, for sure. He's laughing in the background right now.
I was rambling.
He got here on time. It was a great story. But all right, before we bring our boy in, a little bit of a check-in for everybody. So today is Sunday. So Black Friday sales will be going live everywhere. I know the Crappie Chronicles merch will be dropping. I might turn it on early on Thanksgiving night, but it'll be up for Black Friday. We'll have Black Friday through Cyber Monday sales going on. New designs, old designs, some stuff on sale, some stuff's just limited edition. So go on, check it out, get yourself some. And I'm sure LTAB's got some similar stuff going on. So
absolutely, yeah. We'll be doing a Black Friday sale as well.
Yeah, you like paused like you had no idea what you were like so floored that LTAB would be having a sale.
Sale? No.
We paid a lot of money for this ad read, and I'm just here to tell you it is just some fine gear for anglers out there if they'd like to, you know, look a little fresh when they're putting some fish topside this winter. So fat deals, baby.
Incredible.
Fat deals.
Perfect. And then, for everybody too, if you're coming to the St. Paul Ice Show, we do still have tickets on sale for our Break Your PB St. Jude fundraiser going on. I think I got about 100 of them left. It's $100 a piece. You get dinner, live music, some drinks, raffle tickets, and myself, Sobe, Pink, Brett McComas, TJ Erickson, Hunter Nitty, Will Pappenfuss, Rello. I mean,
it's going to be a time.
You name it. So many people are going to be there having beer.
Kids. It's for the kids.
Yeah, for the kids. Also, Grain Belt and Giesenbroy donated a bunch of beer. So for the beer you're drinking, money's getting donated to St. Jude. It's going to be a great time. So buy a ticket. We'll see you at St. Paul. And I think also the Outpost is doing their season finale there that night. So you can combo seeing our seminar.
Do both.
Seeing Sobe at St. Paul, then see the Outpost season finale, and then come have beers with all of us at Tom Reed's. That's like a really good day.
It's a stacked day, dude.
That is a really good Saturday at the St. Paul Ice Show. Mm-hmm. But, all right. Now, time for our guest. Sobe, what do you got?
Are we bringing him in?
Yeah.
I feel like we should just make him wait 20 more minutes.
I think so.
10 more minutes? 20 more minutes? Right now? You bring him in right now?
Let's skip it. Let's skip it.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, from the frozen lakes of Manitoba to the monster-infested depths of the North, he's the one that turns bone-chilling mornings into heart-pounding hookups. He's the angler who makes lake trout nervous. He's the guide who can smell a walleye from over 50 yards away and a YouTuber whose underwater shots hit harder than a 40-inch pike. Ladies and gentlemen, the creator of Clayton Schick Outdoors, the one, the only, Clayton Schick.
I really feel like
Look
you're
at
giving Dave
them.
Mercer a run for his money.
I am, dude. I know. I'm gonna put him out of
Okay.
work.
Yeah.
Admittedly, Chat GBT wrote that.
No.
That AI stuff is unreal. I sent a picture to Jay and I was like, does this, or actually Aaron did, he's like, does this fish touch the line or whatever is the tail? And Jay comes back with the response and he's like, Chat GPT says it doesn't. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Yeah.
Jay
Gotta
typed
start
in
using
his
more
AI
AI. I'm
class.
so far behind on the AI times. Like I haven't played with it
I knew Jay was AI. I
all
knew it.
at all.
It's
I'm
probably
kind of
gonna
with you,
take
Clayton.
all of our
I haven't
jobs.
either too much. Like Steph is the one that even turns on her own smart TV. I'm so far behind in that too, dude.
That's amazing.
Oh, well, welcome. Thank you
Thanks
for
for having
being
me,
here,
boys.
dude.
It's
Thank
always
you for
good to-
freaking blocking out some time. Were you
Heck
hunting
yeah.
tonight?
I was sitting in the stand after missing yesterday. I was on the ice yesterday and I get back and I went and we can feed our deer here. So I went and changed trail cam photo or memory cards and fed them and brought it inside. And I looked and I'm like, yep, my target buck was here at 10 a.m. yesterday and I was fishing. And it's like a pretty nice deer for sure. I actually sent some photos.
Yeah,
there.
he did. Here they are.
Oh my god!
That's
Dang it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Get him.
I know. It's kind of funny. So I have the angled ones down because the coyote took my stick out of my trail camera. So all of a sudden it like knocked down. So I got like real cool angles of them. Then the next one, that's actually a different buck. That one's a 4x5. That's probably a future one. He's a young one, but he's got lots of mass. So that's I'm saving that one.
What is that? Is it a 6-pack of beer you're baiting him? What is that?
That's a mineral lick. So solid.
God, the deer by you are such brutes, dude. They're so thick.
Oh, they are.
They
And
look
if,
like.
and if I
Canadian
told
deer.
you like where I was hunting these, like you wouldn't believe me. Like I could literally shoot them out my kitchen window. Like it's
Really?
like
That's
right
awesome.
there. Yeah. I literally have a blind set up like right there. And when I first was like cutting the trail and everything like that, Cindy's like, are you gonna shoot them out of the wind, like out of the kitchen? I'm like, is that an option? But no, to me, it's like I explained it to her. I was like, even if I looked out the window and saw that deer there, I wouldn't like run out with a gun and shoot it. Like I want to be in the blind hunting it, right? Like
Yeah.
Right.
if I see it run across my front lawn, I'm not going to go out and chase it down. Like I want to be in the back when it's like when it comes to me. I'm not, gonna.
How much land do you own, Clayton?
We're probably on like 8-9 acres, I'd say.
Nice.
But we're like we skirt the city limits, so there's like no hunting for a huge portion of it, and we own all the land that's like skirts that like this area of the town that does skirt the limits. So it's like I get access to all those deer that are, and we don't get those deer like we go into the actual city. Like we don't have that in our area, but we have a lot of land that's like city limits. It's non-huntable type of thing. So
That's cool.
So are you sitting tomorrow?
I think I'm going to sit all day tomorrow because I think Friday I'm running back up north for ice again. So
How much ice were you on?
that was 3 inches there, but that's like one of the only lakes in my area that's like actually frozen. Like normally right now I'd typically be on a couple other lakes fishing walleye, and we got like a skim of ice, but it's been like 0 degrees every night and it's not making any more. So I can't even fish that. So I've been stuck to this one, that same tiger trout lake, which I know it's not stuck. It's great to be on there. But after 3 days on a small body of water, I'm like, I gotta go somewhere else. Like the adventure part of me is like,
well, you said it so casually, openly. You were just like, yeah, I was ice fishing today. No big deal. And I was like, what? Like
I've been ice fishing for, when did I go out? I don't know, Sunday, Saturday? I don't know. I've been out quite a bit already.
Oh
I've been out 3 days total.
wow.
So yeah, actually met up with Jay too. He did some sight fishing for some tigers and stuff there too. So he'll have a video from that at some point.
Did you guys catch?
He caught for his video. I haven't decided if I'll make a video from that day. I only had like one 22-inch tiger within with my 2 extra days. So the first day I was there was awesome. I got a 22 3/4 inch tiger and then a giant 25.5. So that was like epic. That was like make a first ice video, like get it out and whatever. So then I go back for 2 more days and it's like it's less than what I caught before. And I'm like, I feel like it's the same thing again. So I'm like, at that point, do I really want to edit this? I'm like, I kind of just want to go fishing again. Like,
yeah.
So
Yeah, I feel that. That's like the hard battle, right?
it's hard. I have footage which I should have edited, but I have lake trout footage from last end of March, beginning of April, that I was always like, oh, I'll edit it in November and I'll get it out, whatever. And yeah, I didn't do it, and like I didn't catch anything bigger than a 42-inch laker, which I know only a 42-inch, that's huge, but it's like you get to that point where you're like, you've been there, done that for a video. I'm sure you experienced it, and you're just like, man, it's the same thing. It's repeat again, right? So
And does it ever feel hard too, like editing I don't know about you, but like sometimes if it's been a long gap of time, like
yes.
like obviously like from last winter, you're just like you're almost like detached from it. I feel like it's so hard.
Unless something epic happens where you're like proud to like, put that out or edit that or look at that part and relive it type of thing. Like unless it's epic, like it is hard to edit it a year later for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, speaking from like our side of things, I would definitely agree with that in the sense, but like, so like for us putting out these Montana videos right now, like I think having like a whole trip that you're like showing and like a whole story you're telling, like that's still fun. Like I'm going through that and like it's new places, new things, like it's going. So I enjoy that. But when it's like one-off videos that you filmed before, it's like, okay, this is, you kind of just distance from it and it almost turns into a job, and it's so much harder than if you filmed it in January 15th and you posted January 20th.
But
like
Adam,
you just get home and edit
even
it,
when you go to edit it, do you find yourself being like, oh, I can't even really remember exactly how it went or how it happened? Like there's like, when you film something fresh, you're kind of like,
see, I don't
know how you're going to edit it. You
issue
kind of know how it happens. And then if a long duration time goes, I'm like, what happened exactly? And how?
For me, it's more of like getting into the vibe of the edit or like the story, I would say. Like I don't really forget how it goes. Well, especially because like we have so much film with like 4 dudes rolling cameras, a camera guy, like all the stuff. It's like I know everything that happened because it got filmed. It's almost like when I start editing our stuff, that if we save anything, it's more of like me watching footage for a day. Like I'll sit at my desk and I'm just rolling through clips for like a day or two, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, yeah, I remember it all, and then I just start rolling through it. But I know I completely get what you're saying with like, if I were, say we would have filmed a big crappie video where we caught some 14s and 15s or 13s and 14s in middle of March last year, and I was like, whatever, we'll post it in November. I would not be hyped to get out of bed for that one, like editing it. I'd be like, all right, like we've done this a couple times.
I wish I would have edited the lake trout video like right last year after I filmed it, because I did it different where I did like 4 or 5 days of fishing, and then I'm just gonna make like one film video out of it or whatever. And it's like now I look back and I'm like, I can't even find my intro to the video. I'm like, where's my intro for this video? So it's like, I can relive the story and do it if it's like a one-day thing, but all of a sudden it's like 4 days. I'm like, oh no. Being more organized, like when I did the muskie trip this year, my first time going casting for him, and I'll edit that video like in March or April. I actually made notes every night when I got back on a book of like what happened that day. So I know when I'm going to go edit it next year, I can like, okay, this is what I talked about. This is what I got to find that clip, find this clip, and because
that's very smart.
You can get so lost so quick in all that footage, and after 4 days, and it's like, oh, there's 4 terabytes of footage or whatever, right? And you're like, what just happened? Like,
so. I feel that, but well, I mean, so getting into this actually, let's talk about last ice season. We had you on for the first time, January last year?
Right? Somewhere in there,
January?
Yeah.
So
I hadn't caught a crappie at that point yet, and your boys are like, okay.
Yes, and then right after that, you go on a tear, and you just like you
became a crappie guy.
You win these tournaments.
I'd like to think you took a little advice from this podcast.
I feel like that was a hustler's deal. You're like, well, I've never really caught a bluegill. I've never really caught this, and then you're just like poof, in the tournament.
Yeah, so I've never caught a bluegill. I never caught a crappie, and there was like this online fish donkey tournament, and I didn't get to do the first one, the 7-species one, in January. I guess that's end of December, beginning of January. So the second one came up the end of January, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go, right. And I started off like first day going for the bluegill, and yeah, I caught my first bluegill that day, and it wasn't big. I think it was like an 8 or an 8.5. I think I ended up with something like that.
Solid
Right?
fish.
Like, yeah. So it was fun, and then all of a sudden the next day I'm like, okay, what am I going to do now? And it's kind of cool because of being like 6 different species, your plan changed as you went the whole time. So it was like my original plan was I'm going to go to this one lake and fish for the perch, and then all of a sudden I'm like, man, I think I should go focus on pike first because like that's going to be a super important fish. Where it's like I got to catch one that's like bigger than 42 inches, and if I don't catch that, there's no point moving on. I catch a 43.5 incher in the first morning in the first 3 hours, and I'm like,
you're like,
now what? I'm like, okay, now I got all this time, and it was like I had, so then I'm like, I run for smallies and caught an accidental perch the next day, and then I finally went out for the whole crappie thing. And I'm not gonna lie, my first crappie experience the first day was painful. Went to this one lake, and of course I got some info from Aaron and Jay and whatnot. Plus the mapping that we have up in some of those areas now are pretty good, and found an area that I wanted to spend some time in. And Aaron's like, just tough it out there all day. You'll catch a 13, 14, maybe even 15 inch right in the day. You will, right? And I caught some small snot rockets, and I'm like, what is this? Like, what am I doing? Like, talk about like whole, how like you fish a tournament and it's one day of roller coaster or 2 days of roller coaster.
yeah.
This is like every day for like a week, you're going on this roller coaster up and down, up and down, up and down. So second day I go crappie fishing, and I remember catching my first one. It was pretty cool, pretty epic. No, maybe I caught my first one at that other lake, but it was like this big. And I'm like,
you sent me a message because I asked you about it, and you said, I actually have it, and it says, you sent me a picture of the one you actually, I think, registered, but then you said, it was your second day because you said the first day I caught 1 6-incher.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, so I caught 1 6-inch crappie, and I didn't even register it. I'm like, what's the point? So the second day, I'm out and I'm able to bounce around a little bit because the first day was like ripping wind. I stayed in the shelter. I couldn't move anywhere. And the second day, I actually could move around a little bit, and it was cool. Like finding schools of fish, like suspended fish, and catching them. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of fun, right? And then like throughout the day, I'm catching mostly like 9 to 10 inch crappie. Maybe I got 112. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I still didn't get the whole crappie thing. Then I caught a 14 incher. And even though that's not like a giant, I'm like, that's okay, nice, this is cool. Now I get it. I'm like, this is totally different. Like it was a completely different fish, right? Like, when you pull up a 27-inch walleye or a 30-inch walleye, it's like, yeah, there's some differences, but it's not as like different as it was from a 10-inch to a 14-inch crappie. It was like, it was a whole new species. It felt like it was just way bigger, way cooler.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, 14. I mean, a 14-inch fish is that's a lot of people's PBs. That's a big. I would say like that's right, Pink. Like on the big end. I mean, that's on the big average size end.
Oh, it's big.
I feel like,
that's
yeah,
a very big.
I feel like really you don't get excited catching those. Like there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, exactly. And I would say like most lakes you're on. There's some lakes where 13s are built like really tall and you're like, whoa. And that's when they start looking different. But 14 is kind of that number where like you said, they look like a completely different fish.
Yeah.
That's where I would say like all of a sudden you're like, whoa, what happened to you?
Yeah. No, so that was cool. The crappie was probably one of the highlights of the trip. The perch fishing though was really epic for me too. Like I had 13 3/4 and then a couple 13.5s and a couple more 13s. Like that was probably epic. My least impressive fish, which is usually probably my strongest species at everything, was a 26-inch walleye. So I was like, that was pretty like. So then after that, there was still 3 days left in the tournament, and I was in the lead. So I just sat back and watched the leaderboard and was like ready to pounce on the last day if I had to try to go upgrade my walleye, but I never did, and I stayed at home and started editing the whole series and whatnot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was fun because it was something completely different, right? Like, out of the norm, out of my element, and yeah, and I'm looking forward to chasing more crappie again this year. Like I don't have any dates picked yet, but I know what kind of block it's going to be around, whether it's one of those tournaments again, or we're running a bunch of tournaments on Frostbite too, where we have a 2-week window that's like just crappie and that's it. So
that's sweet.
Yeah, I was going to ask. I mean, we can chat about that for a little bit. So, and I mean, more of your ice season last year heading into this year. But I saw that, like you, Aaron, Jay, well, kind of Jay, but you and Aaron particularly, have really started leaning into like those online fishing tournaments and doing more and more of them. We kind of talked about it a bit last year. We've done a little bit of them down in Minnesota. I saw that Frostbite's doing a bunch of them this year. Like, let's talk about that. I mean, I think it's great. Like, I'm all on Aaron's train of talking about like the whole conservation side of things with it, because ice tournaments are really hard to have. And for the most part, they're kind of catch and kill tournaments unless you do them online. So, yeah, I'm pumped to see you guys are kind of kicking that off.
Yeah, the first it's starting a little bit slower. Like, we have 45 entries in the trout division, but nobody has ice. Like, there's no like who's fishing.
Dude, there's no
like,
ice anywhere.
Besides the
there's
people
no
in the
ice.
mountains or in the far north, like nobody's actually fishing. So the first tournament's actually I'm not dissatisfied that it's 45 people or whatever, but it's going to get bigger as we go, because December is going to be all walleye, and then I have the schedule somewhere where it goes like walleye.
Here, let's see if I can find it.
Yeah.
Did Aaron post it somewhere, or did you post it on
Aaron,
Facebook?
it'll be on the Frostbite channel. It'll be on Aaron's thing somewhere. I probably posted it. I probably have photos of it.
I'll try to find it. Keep talking.
But we wanted to just do something that was like not crazy extreme in terms of entry fees or whatever, because we wanted everybody to feel like they could participate or even be out for one weekend and be like, yeah, it's $25. I'll sign up and participate, right? And it also, too, once it starts to be a little bit smaller money, like if you would have made it like a $200 entry fee, I think that's when you'll try to find guys that are going to stretch the limits in terms of trying to find some way to cheat the system or do something, right? So
Sure.
we try to find that fine line. But yeah, so crappies December 29th to January 11th. I know that Aaron was talking to you guys about Burbot or whatever, when it kind of would fit with your schedules down there.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That
That'd
would
be
be
really
fun.
cool.
You know, because it was one of those things.
Maybe we'll have to dabble in that crappie one around that time frame. That we've put that kind of is our sweet spot, Pink. If you look at the dates, right, that lines up really good for some.
There you go.
Well, gosh, the entry fees are so low. It feels like I could jump in at any moment, even just for a weekend. You know.
Well, that exactly. And it's only a 2-week period, because we don't want them to draw on for too long. But yeah, so it's like we wanted to find something where everybody could kind of participate in something. They could be like, oh, I know that I can spend a week. I'm going to go to this lake and I'll participate in that tournament. That's my one. Like, the idea wasn't for somebody to go like, I'm going to fish in every single one. If somebody wants to, great. But
yeah, no, I like that. That's super cool. And I suppose,
you got cool prizes for it, or what's the?
And explain some of the rules.
So we're doing 100% payout on that. So we're not keeping any money at all. So it's basically the prizes are going to be the money that goes in, and then we're going to do some random gift cards throughout the whole event. Like, the person that entered the first stock trout got a gift card from Frostbite. So we'll do like 3 or 4 gift cards every event, and then the money. So it's 100% payout. It's 50% of the allocated money goes towards the largest fish, which pays first, second, and third. So, and it's 25% of that 50 for your first, and then 15% and 10%. And then the other 50% is for your top 3 stringer of fish. So your 3 biggest crappie for first, second, and third. So
nice.
And we're really, Aaron's really pushing, and I'll start helping with him at some point with the whole judging on everything. We want to see like good, healthy releases of the fish. Like, we actually want people holding the fish in the hole and watching it kick away, not just shoving it down the ice. That's an important one for us. Like, I know he had to deny one of the stock trout entries because the fish just it just floated away, right? Like, it didn't actually kick away. So
I like that. And I mean, I'm glad you guys are doing that and kind of paving the way for like, okay, how should we do this? How's the right way to do it and all that? Because I'm pumped to see you guys are doing it, and I guess, Pink, we'll kind of talk a bit about it now. We haven't announced it yet, but we're going to be doing a couple tournaments with the Chronicles this winter too.
Nice.
So yeah, we hadn't put anything out yet, so other people are using Fish Donkey, or we're going to be doing ours on Fishing Chaos. It's another online fishing tournament app. So that one's more US based right now, basically.
Okay.
But we're going to be doing 2 of them throughout the winter, or through the winter. And what's going to kind of be cool with one of ours is So Fishing Chaos kind of has the technology for it's geofencing. So you use your location and everything. And what that allows is we're going to do a early ice Red Lake shootout. So you can only submit fish if you are on Upper Red Lake.
Yeah.
That is going to be how you're going to be able to do it. That because of geofencing in your phone and taking the pictures and everything, they have to get taken there to be submitted there. And we'll be doing it from like December 12th through 21st. We'll have more details of because we'll have like,
Is it just for crappie or is it for walleye?
No,
too?
we'll throw walleye. We'll have walleye
It's
pool. in there
multi-species. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of cool. So I wonder how, because it'd be kind of cool if those apps kind of work together back and forth where you could enter 2 tournaments at once. On Fish Donkey, you can be entered in 3 different tournaments and use that fish and record it for one and then submit to another tournament, Because the whole thing is like trying to limit the time out of the water and handling it right, where it's
for sure.
Right,
well, and I think as long as I'll have to check on this with like our submissions, but I think as long as you take the photo on your phone, like even you know what I mean? Like
I think as long as the location feature
is on, it will be able to get submitted in both. So you could be fishing in the Frostbite tournaments and the Fishing Chaos tournaments.
That would be cool. Yeah, because
on
the Fish Donkey one, you have to register the fish on the app itself to take the photos, but it does save to your phone because it uses its locations, like the same thing, so you can tell where somebody was if they ever needed to and check if it's like a cheating thing or anything like that. If you're always like all of a sudden like on Red Lake where somebody enters a 30-inch wall, you're like, okay, we have to make sure that this guy was actually on Red Lake, right? Like let's look into it. So that's the only time that they'll ever do it. And Aaron or myself in the Fish Donkey one, we could never see where somebody was fishing. We would send a message to like the creator of the app, and we're like, we don't ask him, say, which lake is it on? We say, can you confirm that it was on this lake? Or can you confirm that it was in the boundary of this and this or whatever? And he was like, yeah, good to go.
Yep. And that'll kind of be our thing with that one. So that'll be trying that out. We'll come up with some sort of pockets of like, your 5, maybe it'll be like your 5 best crappies, maybe your 3 best walleyes or 5 best walleyes. Cause Red Lake is also a slot lake. So like you have to throw a bunch of them back over 17 inches. So kind of a fun way. And plus everybody goes up there early ice. Like you said, throw $25 in. All the money's just going to go into the payout and go back to people. We're not.
That's what we did too. I wanted 100% payout where it wasn't like you were keeping any of the money for anything like that. But these competitions are cool because they create a way to keep the competition side of it going. But like I said, the whole idea is still to make sure you're taking care of the fish too. Like you're trying to find that balance because as humans, most people can't shut that competition side of them off. They want to do some kind of competing, or in my situation, it gives me more to like goal for, right? Like it's like, okay, it gives you all of a sudden, like now I got videos to like work on. It's like, okay, I got a new meaning right now. Like, let's go chase these stock trout and, challenge yourself to some different things. And
yeah, for sure. Well, and then like we'll probably follow your lead. I'll even talk to our guys about it for the releases of like saying like, hey, we want fish held in hole till it kicks, like not just crappie chucked in hole.
The other thing that stops too is like somebody ever passing fish around too, where it's like, hey, you got a 15-inch crappie, and like, hey, why don't you take a photo of this one too for for second place or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty easy to manipulate the fish a little bit, so you make it a 1/4 inch smaller or something like that, and
yeah, for sure. And then
it should be cool that there's like a number of online tournament options that'll be available like this winter, though. That should be kind of cool to get people kind of fired up, whether they're doing ours or yours, or I'm sure there's plenty of other ones that are happening too.
The worst part with everything is it can become such a judging nightmare. Like in terms of all the rules and stuff, it's like, like whether you're having open mouth, closed mouth, whatever. And it's like, nothing's worse than like DQing somebody's fish or being like, yeah, we got to cut your fish 1/4 inch because your mouth was slightly open or whatever. Right. Like,
but I think if the rules are clear, everyone's playing by the same thing, especially, yeah.
But everybody will always have a reason, or they'll always fight it in that sense. Right. Like,
well, and ultimately it's like we said, ultimately it's better for the fisheries and it's good to have a little bit of something in it, but also you're promoting people putting bigger fish back and going after it, and
Totally.
being better about it.
Well, and it gives anglers a reason, and it helps push people outside their comfort zones, just like you did, where you're like, oh, now I have a reason to go chase crappies and bluegills. Like that's
yeah, you would have
super
never
cool.
went and caught crappies and bluegills.
Probably, maybe not the bluegill. I would have went for the crappie eventually, I'm sure. But it's like it's super far from me. Like the crappie was like 7 hours away or whatever. Like it isn't like, oh yeah, none of this stuff.
So crazy.
I actually talked with Jay. We're fishing on the lake the other day, and he's like, I was looking on the map. He's like, you really have nothing close to you, do you? I'm like, he's like, your closest lake's 45 minutes, and there's one. He's like, everything else, like I'm driving at least an hour and a half, like minimum. So
do you think you never move, or you love where you live?
Even though it's far, it's still central located for a lot of the stuff. So it's like I can still go west, I can still go north, I can still go east. Like
plus he's got all these big bucks right in his yard.
I know. He's like, well, I have like
I'm growing deer. I'm like, that's so yeah.
No, so Clayton, where do you like to fish? My nearest lake is an hour away. Where do you hunt? Well, the blind is out the kid
right. Yeah, it's amazing. I've been trying to film this hunt in the other morning, and it's like I go to the blind, and it's like literally like not too far away, and I'm like, oh man, my camera doesn't have a memory card, so I go into the house, get a memory card, get back out there. Oh, I forgot this. So it's like having a blind close to your house isn't really a good thing either, because you get so complacent, and you're like, oh, it's so easy for me just to walk back to the house real quick. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is funny. That is very funny. What are you heading it? Or I will say too, we're doing another one in the middle of winter. We won't dive into it too much, but it'll be a St. Jude fundraiser where part of the entries can be going to St. Jude, but that'll have a ton of different categories. So you can do it nationwide, Canada wide. It'll be trout. We'll have trout, walleye, pike, panfish. You name it. We'll be doing it. We got sponsors giving prizes for it. We'll have cash prizes too. It's going to be a jolly old time for the whole ice fishing.
They're starting to really catch on for the whole charity side of it too, or fundraisers or anything like that, because there's even like some people around here that run them for their daycare now. They're like, we used to do, fundraising and sell meat or whatever. They're like, this was so much easier. Like we got a couple donated prize. You do a $50 entry fee that ends up going to, donation to the daycare, and all the prizes were just whatever it was, an ice fishing suit, an auger, etc. So
yeah,
it's kind of neat.
Yeah. So that's kind of our plan. And just like you said, just trying to get more people catching new fish, releasing new fish, doing cool things. So just saw everything you guys were, flat out. We saw like the stuff you guys were doing, and we're like, this is smart. We should all be doing this more. And we had been in some of them too. So,
well, we expect to see you guys in the crappie one for sure. Like you gotta participate in that one.
Yeah, we'll have to come out of retirement.
Okay.
I actually think we'll be around too. So that'll be good. That'll be good. I think we might be able to actually do that. It would just be funny if we made a splash and like say the lake trout one or something. We just randomly show up. They're like, what are they doing?
Yeah. That was the hardest thing with the whole thing, was trying to find something where it's like where it's good for everybody, or there's somebody can fish something, because we're getting lots of messages where it's like, well, trout's not open right now, or have no ice. And it's like, well, we know that we couldn't fit into everybody's schedule, right? Like it's impossible where you can make it align for everything.
Yeah.
So,
or just lake trout, US only.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Lake trout handicap. Canadian fish minus 7 inches.
And the other thing I thought would be kind of good with this too is like some of the other people that are just starting YouTube or like influencer or anything like that. It's like now if they make a video about the tournament and they go on their adventure, like I said, I'll include it in my video and I'll link their video or whatever, right? Like it's kind of make like a whole community of it where everybody collabs together on it. And
yeah. Oh, for sure. I love it. So what are you, so you've been ice fishing a little bit this winter. You got the tournaments coming up. Like you got any goals or like things you're really excited to get after this year?
I definitely want to do the whole crappie again. So I'll start off. So like you said, I've been doing some ice fishing already for stock trout. I'm going to try to chase a PB rainbow. I think my biggest rainbow through the ice is 26.5. So that's like my first goal before the end of November, is to get a bigger rainbow on the ice. And then December is literally going to be like allocated to just walleye. I have some of my best walleye fishing is usually in December, and then I'm hoping to not have to walleye fish after that for the rest of the winter because I'll chase some of the multi-species stuff like the crappie and the perch and whatever. So I've always got ideas of the things I want to do. Like I really want to do a Cascade trip still. Like more than anything, I want to go to there and try to catch some giant perch. But that's 1,000 miles away. So whether that one's the reality or not, it's hard to say. I want to do some more pike fishing, but I kind of want to do some sight pike fishing. Jane and I were talking about the other day how it's like really cool how some like we're in the States, they do the whole spearing for the pike. It's like, how cool would it be to just do the same thing, but actually like catch them on a rod and reel, right? Like a nice sight hole set up and fish for them that way. So that's definitely
awesome
on my list for sure. And then I don't know, Lake Winnipeg. I really need to conquer a big walleye out of Lake Winnipeg. That's my one lake where it's like it haunts me every time I'm there. Like I think the biggest one I've caught is like 27 and a half inches. It's like I haven't got a giant Lake Winnipeg walleye yet. So
you got to do that, dude. That needs to be like a personal goal. Like, because I would love, like, dude, I would personally love to see a video because you've caught so many big walleyes on film. But it would be really cool. That's the premise of the video. Is like, you know, Lake Winnipeg has haunted you, and I just have a goal to beat 27 inches.
I know.
See if you can crack it again and again. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
I'm learning a little bit more every time I'm out there, you know, and like the whole lake itself. And obviously it's just another beast, that lake. Like it's so hard to figure out, you know, and it's like, I know even like there's guys out there, it's like when they fish those little Keystone tournaments, whatever, or the kicker fish tournaments, now they're called. They'll go out one day and they'll smash 5 over 28 inches. And you're like, these guys are so dialed. They're so amazing. And the next day they don't catch 1 over 22. And you're like, okay, it's not that easy, right? Like, so I just haven't seen the amazing side of it yet. I haven't had that opportunity or whatever. So we'll see.
Well, for your crappie stuff, Clayton, I got to ask, because otherwise people are going to ask me, how far do you got to drive, or where do we got to meet to do a collab for crappies?
For me, the closest place is like eastern Manitoba, called the White Shell region.
How far are you up? Are you up by Saskatoon?
I'm by Melville.
Okay, you're by Melville.
Yeah.
I'll try to find a central point that has crappies that I'm like, okay, we'll meet here.
Like, so I went for bluegill. I went to was it Metagosh or
Metagoshi?
Yeah, so that's where I caught my bluegill from. And there it was like I had to fish the Canadian side, and it's about this big, and then the American side is like, yeah. It's so funny there because you see all these shacks in the distance, and it's like all these wheelhouses, and it looks amazing. And then you see the Canadian side, and it's like these just wooden ice shacks. It's just like, it's literally like you stepped across to Mexico or something, right? One or the other. It's like, it's so crazy. Like,
is there not many wheelhouses? Like
there some like, and there was a couple on that lake, but not like it is in the States. Like it's not even close. But I guess when you got to Lake of the Woods, maybe there'll start to be some more. But we don't have the ice roads and all that stuff. Nobody does, any ice roads or whatever. So it's a different world.
That makes sense though, because they're not as easy to use.
What's the legality on Lake Winnipeg in the wheelhouses? Because
didn't some start showing up out there?
Or
there's I'd say Lake Winnipeg has more than anywhere else. Like Chris Gaughan's got a bunch of Yetis. A lot of the other guides now are finally got like the allocations where they can actually guide overnight or outfit overnight. Because for the longest time it was like you weren't allowed to outfit on Lake Winnipeg overnight, and then they introduced a couple outfitters, and then it was like, yeah, anybody else could go out there and you could winter camp out there and whatnot, but the wheelhouses are starting to become a little bit more popular out there, and a lot of it's because there's a company called Arc Lab, and he makes these really awesome skis that go on the wheelhouses, and a lot easier to move them around.
But like, can the general public bring their wheelhouses up there?
You sure can, yeah.
Okay.
You just risk getting it on or off, because most people can't even navigate that lake with just a truck without burying it or getting stuck on an ice ridge and whatnot. So
yeah. Well, for the record, if we wanted to meet up at some point, Clayton, it would somewhere between Devil's Lake and Metagoshi. That's a halfway point for both of us.
Oh, that's not that. See, that's not far. Like Devil's Lake isn't that far for me.
No, I can see that. So
maybe
we'll do a collab at some point. That'd be fun.
That's closer for me than going to the White Shell. Yeah, if you guys are ever in there, like let me know. I would totally come down for something like that. That would be really cool. And I always get asked all the time. Yeah, everybody always asks her, like, when are you going to the States?
Dial it up.
States to fish. And I'm like, man, I got so much water up here to fish, but I don't have the crappie though. Like,
yeah, but we could do a state swap. We could do we'll you come down here, we'll fish in the States, and then we'll be like, all right, show us this Canadian shit.
Yeah, I definitely,
but not for crappies. Not for crappies.
No.
We'll go
We
do
want
the
the lake
walleye
trout.
thing. The
Walleyes
lake
and lake
trout,
trout.
you're looking like lake trout's so far. Like
I don't care. That's fine. We have to drive far for them anyways. We have a 10-hour drive for them, basically, no matter what.
Yeah, that's probably
you can get them here. They're just not.
Yeah,
right.
they're just not like as cool.
Yeah. No, totally. If you guys ever want to go on like a lake trout adventure, stuff like that, like let me know. There's a couple lakes there, like Clearwater and Athapap, where it's like you got potentials of catching giant lakers, and Clearwater right now is completely mapped, and Athapap is like a half mapped or a quarter.
Clearwater's mapped.
Clearwater's full mapped. It's crazy what different mapping will do, like in terms of how much easier it makes your trip. Like it's, you don't have to spend that whole time just trying to go figure out the lake. It's like there it is in front of you. I remember my first like couple years of ice fishing, like going to Tobin Lake. And I know there was one morning we drilled holes for 2.5 hours before we finally like figured out like where we wanted to fish and whatnot. And like now, if you had that mapping, you just would go there and fish. Like, be so much easier.
How mapped is Tobin now?
Tobin's fully mapped, like full, the whole lake.
Wow.
Yeah, by both Angler's Edge, which is they have them on the Lawrence, and then I think they're also Garmin's been buying some licensing, I think, for that, and then Lake Master also mapped the whole thing.
Wow.
So it's
wow.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, it's really cool because there's some awesome stuff out on Tobin, like not just the river itself, like the big lake of Tobin. It's really cool.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, it'll just like technology advancing and everything. It just makes the fishing better. We find new fish, bigger fish, and better ways of catching them. And the easiest way to doing that is not forward-facing sonar. It is lake maps.
Yeah, totally. I always laugh when somebody's like, they say that forward-facing sonar is ruining fishing. I'm like, well, mapping's the one that's getting you there to where you can use the forward-facing sonar. Like the mapping is unbelievable. Like it's the biggest cheat code out there for sure, in my mind.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Okay, so that's your plan there. I mean, that sounds like a fun winter.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it like every other winter, day by day. You're gonna have some trips that you're planned, and I always say it's like plan 7 trips and hopefully do 2 or 3 of them, right? Because weather plays a factor and everything else that goes on, right? Like it's, as you guys know, the whole, when you start to film something, like if you get -40 weather, it just makes it miserable and it's not worth it. It's like, that's what I'm like,
that is a benefit living down here.
Yeah. No, we get cold up here. Like last year, it was like one of our worst conditions ever. Guys were beating me on the ice down there. Like Nick Linder was on the ice way before I was, because we got a little bit of ice and we got dumped with snow. And then we made no ice because it was so mild and that snow insulated everything.
Yeah.
And it was just garbage for the first how long. So
that's like worst case scenario.
Oh, it was, So I never got to fish like pretty much all of my best early season walleye spots last year. Like they were just shot.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
All right. So I got PTB fan questions. I put up a poll like 2 days ago for everybody for ice fishing questions for us and Clayton, topics for us to go over. We can start ripping some of them. You game, Clayton?
I'm all in.
All right, cool. Okay, first one is good. That's good because the first one's for you.
It can be about anything. So
yeah, for the record. Clayton,
you have to answer.
Fired up. What's the biggest fish Clayton's going to catch this ice season?
Like
species?
48-inch pike, 46-inch lake trout, 16-inch crappie, 14-inch perch. You got to set your goals high, right? Like,
have you ever caught a 48-inch pike?
I've 47 3/4.
Oh my god!
I put that video out last November. I pulled it through the ice. It was the biggest pike I've ever seen. Like,
I think I remember that.
I've caught bigger ones, or I've guided bigger ones in the summer, but that was probably one of the heaviest fish I've ever picked up. Like,
was that on a body of water anybody would know, or undisclosed?
It's undisclosed, but
Okay.
some people would figure it out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
How heavy
it was
was
like a
that
Winnipeg
fish, do you think?
It was
situation.
probably close to 35 pounds, I'd say, somewhere between 32 to 35 would be my guess.
Have you ever gotten a replica made of any fish?
A walleye. I have a replica of 13.56. 13. Yeah, bring it over. 13. I forget what it was. It's 31 and a half inches, but 13.8 or something like that. I can't remember what it was now.
Wow.
That's kind of sad. I caught a 33.25-inch walleye a year and a half ago. A year ago, just before the last mountain tournament. That one only weighed 12 and a half pounds, but it was 33.25 on the bump board. The only photo I have of that fish is on the bump board because I was by myself and I was like, I didn't want to take care, or didn't want to, turn it.
Oh, do you want it this way?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful mount.
Oh, that's
That
sweet.
is a giant.
That one's by Back 40 Taxidermy. He's in the Winnipeg area.
That's
So
awesome.
that's my PB weight walleye, that one. But the 33.25 was like, I attempted to do a replica of that one day because it was 33.25 inches, like, and legit. I have on the bump board photo. That's the only photo I have because I was by myself. I was pre-fishing for the tournament, and it was like, I caught this giant. I put it in the live well. I put it on the bump board, and I'm like, am I setting up my camera for a photo? I'm like, let's just put it back. I'm like, whatever. Catch another one eventually. Now that I look back, I'm like, why didn't I, like, but it's like you're pre-fishing for a tournament, so your mind's spinning different ways. You're like, you don't want anybody to see you or catch you red-handed or whatever, right? So you're just like, your mindset's completely different.
Yeah. All right. Next one. Clayton, should Pink quit his job?
We already talked about that last podcast.
Exactly.
Answer still
Great
same.
So what's the update on it? Have you quit yet?
I'm still working here. This is no, I have not. I have not.
No
quit.
one gets paid here, please, Pink. we give it all to our guests, dude.
Okay, so I think you said it earlier. Maybe it's a different answer, but Sobe, Pink, and I can all chime in on this too. What's your dream U.S. ice fishing destination? Is yours what you said before, Clayton?
Probably the Cascade, I think. Yeah. That's probably, right off the top of my head, that would be it. Yeah.
I would probably, because we've been a lot of places in the U.S. now, and we got some that we're going to be going to soon. I would probably honestly, I'd probably put Cascade up there too, just because it is so far out there. Like, I haven't gone that far that way yet. How about you, Sobe? Pink?
Go for it, Pink.
I mean, I'm still just totally enamored with Fort Peck, dude. Like, I feel like I've been there a couple of times that I'm just like, I feel like I'm still just barely scratching the surface of what that place can do.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I just love it there. I love the whole thing. I love that there's nothing around it. It's just like, it's just kind of my style of spot. You know what I mean? And I don't know. I just, every time I've been there now, I feel like I've learned a lot, and I just want to keep picking it apart. And I don't know.
Fort Peck feels like it's as close as you could get to Canada to fishing without going to Canada.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So what if that question was reversed Canadian wise? What would you three have for that?
Well, Sobe's got to answer his first. He can't squeak out of it.
Yeah, there's four of us.
You're good. Then we'll go.
Same with Ryan. Like, I feel like I've only ever just scratched the surface of Fort Peck, and I just like, it's still like on my bucket list to like just go there and do cooler things and like actually learn it. And then also I got to go to like Metagoshi and the Turtle Mountains area. Like I love super big bluegills. Like, and I've never been there and done that. And that's like, yeah, I got to do that.
Oh, and I will
that's a
say,
good one.
not that Fort Peck, I think, is a cop out, but one that's different, but kind of in the same. I would love to do Blue Mesa lake trout at one someday in Colorado.
That's one in Colorado.
Like
There was
going and doing
there was a
that stuff
giant
in the
pond
mountains.
there.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, Blue Mesa's. I mean, the state record came out of there, which is like it was ridiculous. It was like 70 pounds, something ridiculous.
Okay, so then Canadian wise, we can go back around. Mine, I don't know if I necessarily have one, Clayton, but I would probably say something like Clearwater or Athapath, like that type of like lake trout, like snowmobile adventure, like that's. I want to go do something like that into nowhere. I don't care how far north I got to drive for it to be really cool. I've been watching like all the stuff that like Fishing Geeks and Jay and stuff do with the Yukon. I don't know if I'm like fully into I want to go do that. But you know what, like the stuff, the area you're in and the stuff you guys go do is kind of my thing. And the only other one, it's very niche, but like low key, I've talked with Aaron about this several times and it'll happen one day, but I just want to go like put a house where the hammering 16-inch crappies video happened for one evening. I know I'm probably not going to catch anything, but just like, I would just like to be there and be like, so this is it.
Do you know where that lake is?
That's where the deer
where
hair
that
is.
spot
Like
is?
that whole thing.
No, I don't. No.
But Aaron and I have talked about it before, and I was like, I just like don't even need a camera, nothing. Just want to show up. I just want to like be like, that's where the deer was.
Be there.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Just like the essence of it. Just because like that is like a core memory video for me growing up watching fishing videos. But you guys go ahead now.
Yeah, mine's probably the same, dude. I just want to go to the absolute end of the earth and catch a mega lake trout. Like I don't even.
I like that.
I don't know. I just love lake trout fishing so much, and it's just like that's the place to do it. You know what I mean?
Lake trout's epic.
I'd probably have to say the same. I'd like to play around from like the Paw to Clearwater and go for those lake trout. And then there's some drive-to areas, lakes like around there for big pike that I'd love to go do some sight fishing for pike or just giant pike. Like that area too has some awesome.
Totally.
Like
I think I'd want to go to the Yukon and do the whole in canoe thing, she fish.
that would be cool.
Oh,
dude,
yeah.
that would be cool.
I want to catch an in canoe, yeah. And actually, now that I think about it too, when we mentioned the Yukon, like I know I said Cascade for the States, but I think my other one would be Alaska for Arctic char through the ice.
Oh yeah.
That might
cool.
be better more than the whole perch thing, I think.
The weird thing,
photos the other day of somebody with like the brightest orange char through the ice. I was just like,
really?
what? I'm like, this is epic. And I'm like, Aaron had sent me to it. So I went on the guy's Instagram and I creeped it. Hey, and I looked, I was like, oh, he follows me. Hey, follow back. This is cool. Let's hit the messages. And I see like 4 or 5 messages from him that I've never seen before. And I instantly felt like a dog. Because I'm like,
that's the
are you
worst.
kidding me? Like, this amazing dude has been messaging me over these years. I've never seen one to reply to it. So I'm like, right away, I'm like apologizing for not have met, and then I'm like, those are epic fish, dude. Right. And right away, he's like, well, come on up anytime you want, go fish for him. And I'm like, oh.
I think just seeing like it with my own eyes, like I think it'd be even cool to film it, like let alone catch it. But like just seeing one of those Arctic char, like with my eyes, like I gotta see
on the snow, dude.
On the snow on the ice, like that is so.
Like I just want to keep filming adventures like that ice fishing, like for like whenever we're in the metro doing our thing. Don't get me wrong, I love filming the Chronicles and doing this stuff, but at a point of catching 13 to 14-inch crappies over and over and over again, you're like, can't wait till I go fly a drone at a mountain, like or something
or
like
do anything else.
Yeah,
well, and the adventure side of it is
the adventure
you lose
part
that
is
when you're
what's
just
so
fishing
sick.
around home.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, it's like you just drive home at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay. What's the earliest you've ever been on ice, Clayton?
Ooh, that's an awesome question. Whoever asked that.
There was one year I was fishing like November 6th or 7th, somewhere around there, right at the beginning of November.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been on lots that like Remembrance Day weekend, like November 11th, lots around there. But there's a couple times I've been out like a weekish earlier.
Wow.
Like this feels when it's like today's the 19th. think the first day I was out on the 15th, or no, it was the 3rd. I don't even know when it was. It felt late. It really did for like with everything that's going on. It just felt like I was behind. But
yeah, we don't get it that early.
no,
I mean,
you just don't get cold enough.
Have you ever been on? Because I feel like the earliest I ever was on ice was with you, and it was when with Sobe.
Oh, okay.
It was me and Sobe and Mav and Natty Dillon, and who else do we have at that pond right by my house, right down by the river?
Oh,
You remember that?
It's like a little backwater spot, dude. That was probably
it was super early. It was in November.
It might have been like
before
November,
Thanksgiving for sure.
Might have been November 14th, 15th, something like that. I feel like we were like in gun hunting.
You remember that?
I remember filming a TY. I remember filming a TYO video with Rello up in Bemidji. It was single days in November. I don't remember what it was.
Really?
It might have been November 6th or November 8th. And I know Rello, because the reason I drove up there was he walked on that place on Halloween. And then it got warm for 2 days. And then we had like a little blip of like it was going to be 10 degrees 3 nights in a row before it warmed back up again. And he's like, if you run up here, we'll be able to film quick. And I ran all the way up there. We filmed and I drove home.
That's what's so interesting is like you can have areas by Clayton, and then you can have like Red Lake, and then you can have the Bemidji area, then you can have some areas in North Dakota, and even areas around like Brainerd, like just these different pockets. Obviously they got small, shallow, dirty water, but like it'll just like there's like these different pockets that will freeze really fast right away. And you could even be in the Paw or by Clearwater or whatever, and they'll have no ice, but then there could be like 4 or 5 inches in Bemidji, and it's like weird. It's really
shallow is the first thing it'll like to form the ice, and then anything with lots of shade. The sun, anything that's got lots of shade will keep, a lot longer, or it'll freeze a lot quicker, and then hold the ice a lot longer too sometimes.
All right, for the whole crew, best ice beer. What's the best beer to have on the ice?
If I was staying like in an ice castle or something like that, I'd have a beer or something like that. But I can't say I've ever like, at least in the last 20 years, drank on the ice when I'm fishing, just because it's so.
I feel like they always just explode.
Yeah, well, like if you're in an ice castle or something, I do it. But unfortunately, we don't partake in that stuff very much.
Although I will say,
what do you drink in your ice house, Sobe?
I'm here to say what.
Like,
it's like a part of the culture. Are you kidding me?
Over a beer.
Okay.
You spend a lot of time in a hub shack, Clayton. You don't bring cold beers in your hub shack. You're kidding me? Like, I've got a double buddy ripping. I'm out of the wind. I've brought all this gear. I have 18 floor mats, but I didn't bring a 6-pack, let alone 24.
It's probably smart he doesn't, because like 90% of his videos would be Clayton shit faced then, because he would just like he'd have to only bring like 2.
The worst thing would be it's like if it's actually straight illegal in Canada, like we would.
Oh, that's right. You can't on the water
like instantly. So
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I've always discouraged the whole drinking on the ice in that situation, unless you have more people where you do have one guy that's like a designated driver, because you want to ruin the sport of fishing faster than anything is have a driver coming off the ice that's loaded and kill a bunch of people, right? Like,
yeah.
They'll just ruin everything.
Is that so? That is still illegal in Canada to drink on the ice?
Yeah. Well, in Minnesota, then they do the whole beer and then the hookers right in the ice shacks. Remember? Remember that story?
That's like
I do remember.
That's like how all of a sudden it was like he's like, we can't have people sleeping on the ice because next thing you know, prostitution or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, what? How does it get to that? Like,
well, you obviously haven't had enough beers.
Yeah.
Come to the metro. It's different down here.
Yeah. Well, that's literally where it was from. So
I forgot about that part, but yeah.
I will say though, out of all I have never been invited to Sobe's Ice House where there are cold beers in all the winters that he's had it.
I've actually never been invited to Sobe's Ice House.
My hard shack. Maybe it's just AI. Maybe you don't even own one.
Yeah. Maybe the invite just got lost in the mail or something.
I'll answer this question since you guys are horrible at this question. The answer is Busch Light.
It's Bush Light in a can, and let me tell you, there's multiple reasons. If we're inside the hard shack and we're getting classy, I'd like to do Bush in a bottle because I feel like we could handle the opportunity and that risk there. But if we're on the ice, it's going to be Bush Light in a can, and if we've got a long walk, it's going to be Bush Light Tall Boys. They're 16 ounces, and that's just obviously more hydration for the longer walk. And the aluminum cans, of course, are crushable, and then they're not going to shatter and ruin the ice fishing for the folks. But it's absolutely Bush Light.
And when you open the beer, you have to go Bush.
And that's where anglers, especially like myself, we become high level where we can drill holes with one hand because our other hand is occupied. So if you understand the concept, so don't ever say it's not athletic. Okay.
All right.
What does that have to do with break your PB? I don't understand.
Yeah. Adam was the first YouTube channel that had a beer sponsor. Are you kidding me? And you're like, I don't know. It should have been Giesenbräu, break your PB.
I was just letting someone else say it. There we go. Okay. So is spearing closer to deer hunting than it is to angling?
Probably.
Yeah, I would actually say that.
Have you been spearing, Clayton?
I've never been spearing. I could do it, but if you put a 43-inch pike in front of me, I couldn't spear it. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know. I mean, I have friends who spear and everything, but I don't understand this part about spearing giant ones just because of but also with catch and release and, we do that sort of stuff.
We do.
But we do a lot more of it. But
But we have air, like the way our, like Minnesota is set up, like there is like that zone with the north central, whatever, where it's like a 10 fish limit, but you can't have any fish over like 27 inches. So it's like you can spear a bunch of like eater size pike and people are doing that. Like that I could get down with, but I agree with the whole like spearing big ones. It's kind of like, what's the point of that?
Yeah, I don't think I could do that one. I would like to go spear.
I'd be down to
a bunch of 25 to 30s.
Like I said, I think it's 27 inches is like so it's like you can spear 10 under 27 inches in that north central zone or whatever.
Yeah, if you can do it like that and you're gonna harvest them and whatnot, and it's like it's great, but I just couldn't do the whole bigger ones. It's like, and a lot of it comes from the whole mentality of like how much more that fish is alive to the tourism than it is dead. Like you spear that fish, that's it. The fish is gone. Like it's
right.
Not a money maker anymore. Where it's like if you were a guide on that lake and you're a catch and release angler or whatever, or catch and release outfit, it's like 7 clients could catch that one fish, and make you so much more money than spearing it one time could.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. And I think that's a different mentality too that just from United States to Canadian is because like you guys do value your tourism and everything so much. Like people around here like get away from me. Like I don't want you here, and you guys are like travel Manitoba. Come on up.
We definitely value the tourism, but I also I have an addiction and a passion to chase the biggest fish that are around, and it's
I agree.
Killing all of them. It's just like it'd be so boring for me.
Yes,
I like to eat fish just as much as the next guy. So.
What's the most important non-safety item to bring ice fishing? Pink and Clayton, you each got one?
Probably an auger.
Non-safety.
Probably an auger. I like the literal answer. It would be an auger.
I forgot my rod one year. First, we're talking about like early ice. This was one of those like November 6 days. Pack everything up. I literally had just like put down my lab like 3 days earlier, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go fishing, get my mind out of it. Drove all the way to the lake, got out there, made my sight hole, and then as soon as I made my sight hole, it clicked in my head. I didn't pack my rods. I didn't even have to look in my shelf. Like, look, I'm like, I just don't.
You already knew. You're like,
it was the next prop. It was the next thing. So it's like some guy out there was like, here, borrow one of mine, and I use it, and it was like this junk rod with the line. I'm like, I can't do this. I packed up and went home. Worse, so rods are pretty important too. Especially first ice, you can break it. Maybe you don't need an auger, so rods.
I'm big on the snacks. I feel like that is like I would drive home, Clayton.
That's Cindy.
Yeah.
Max, yeah.
So
Totally.
I stepped away for a minute and I was gonna go grab it, and Steph is like, no. So like I only have one mounted fish in my entire house, and it's my grandpa's, dude, who passed away, and it's like a 38.5-inch pike that he speared, and that was like, my grandpa did not ice fish, didn't angle. He was a big time crappie bluegill fisherman, open water, but like didn't fish through the ice other than spearing. And there's like a whole subculture there. And it was a lot, it wasn't about getting giants by any means. It was about getting 4, 5,
Just
6,
getting
7, 8-pound pike and then pickling pike. And going back to, is it like deer hunting? Oh my gosh, I think it's way closer to deer hunting than it is actually ice fishing, because it's so 0 to 100, because obviously you have the sight hole and you're just chilling, and then it comes in and you're not like getting a bite or seeing the bite or feeling the bite. It's, you have to make a play. You have to grab the spear, you have to line it up, and you got to be super freaking quiet. Like you move your feet or anything, and it's like they're gone, because they're only, 4 or 5 feet away from you. And it's like, when I was young growing up, that's like what we did with my grandpa. And it felt just like deer hunting feels now. It's the same. It's a different kind of adrenaline. So I know we're kind of going back on that subject. I went out to go try and grab it, and I like try to grab it off the wall, and Steph's like, no, because it's like pretty old.
Yeah.
And I like almost dropped it, but either way, yeah.
That's kind of how I feel like, dude, that sturgeon thing, like Lake Winnebago sturgeon spearing thing.
Yeah, that's wild.
I mean, I know I've never been there for that, but like that whole thing and just the whole culture around it is like exactly what you're talking about.
It's cool.
Okay. Next up, there is a comment here. Will Clayton please come down to Minnesota and do a Crappie Chronicles Clayton Schick collab?
There we go.
There you go. Shallows,
Well, that saves us a lot of driving.
Yeah.
The best way for me to do like a collab or something like that is like if I came down and like I could film something with you, but then I also had like a day or two to like film something for my channel too, or it was like do it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, and with the way they have collabs on YouTube now, like we can make something happen. And with Mille Lacs, dude, could you imagine come down, do a crappie thing with us, then go to Mille Lacs, do a perch deal and a walleye deal? You could get a handful of videos pretty easily, all within an hour, 2 hours of each other. That would all do really well. Clayton Schick on Lake Mille Lacs. I think people would freak out.
We actually, there's somebody I know from Mille Lacs. I forget, obviously, the name wouldn't know the name off the top of my head, but they came lake trout fishing 3 years in a row for a Fish with Clayton trip.
Really?
Just triggered. I think they texted me like 2 weeks ago, and I haven't responded. So put that one in the note.
Shallowest you have caught a walleye through the ice?
Like 3 feet of water, probably. You know what? 2.5, 3 feet of water. The game of inches. Pike tip up with Adam Crawford, and I thought we were fishing for pike, and it was shallow, like I said, 3 feet of water. Set the tip up, and out came at 20. I think it was 28.5 inches.
Wow.
Yeah, I've actually
you guys got a lot of big walleyes.
with running underwater cameras for pike so often in the shallows. You'd be surprised how often the walleyes are in the shallow stuff like that. And usually the big ones. Like it really surprised me after starting to run the underwater camera that much.
Yeah.
It changed the way I walleye fish a lot on some of the lakes.
All right. Most overrated ice fishing lure.
Wow. I can't go first. What would it be?
I'm just trying to think of something that everyone talks about, then I use it and I don't catch fish on it.
Yeah.
I think I would just say wax worms, dude. I know it's bait, but like, dude,
I don't know if it'd be overrated though. Like, I don't know if like
I think it is
talking about wax worms.
I mean,
I feel like where I'm
there's,
from,
there's people that won't even go if they don't got a can of them in their bibs, man. Like, do you think you have to have them to even go ice fishing?
No, but I don't know if people talk about it too much where they're like, that's the deal. That's the deal.
I don't know.
That's a tough one because it's like I don't feel like there's something here where that that everybody talks highly of and doesn't work, or B, that, like you said, where it's like, that's the deal, you have to have it or hype it up so much.
Maybe I'd say this. I'd probably say rattle baits in the States.
That makes sense. I know Nick Linder talks about that when he's on Lake Winnipeg all the time. He's like, they just don't work down there at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, for walleyes. I mean, we use them for crappies. Will smoke a small rattle bait, like smoke it. But in terms for walleyes and stuff, I would agree.
There's not that many bites you get on that you're like using rattle baits for crappies.
Yeah, I mean, well, any time we're on the river, yeah, they'll maul it, no matter what. Yeah.
Like, I've gone through different stints with different spoons and stuff like that up here over the years, and like everything catches big walleye. It feels like if you have confidence in it and trust in it, like.
What would
Yeah.
you say,
I would
Ryan?
agree.
I
with
would
that.
love. Okay, just based on it, I would love Clayton to come and fish some of the lakes we fish walleyes on,
with some of his baits.
Well,
or
Yeah.
just
but
be like,
see,
just
that
go here.
wouldn't work though. I'd have to adapt to what works for that area, right? Like, all of a sudden, it's like I'd have to get rid of my 10 and 12 pound tests, and I'd have to go to 6 pound, and I have to finesse them.
I don't know if you'd have
You
to.
know, well, I would say I would try the way I want to fish it first, but every lake is so different. There's, even up here, it's like, the same thing doesn't work from one lake to the next.
Yeah,
Like,
I totally agree.
it changes so fast. Like the whole bottom composition, whether you're fishing rock or sand or clay or whatever, or weeds, it changes from lake to lake so quick. Water clarity, everything, right? Like each lake has its own little thing that works. Usually.
I think I got a new video idea for you, Clayton. Since we can't come up with an idea for this of what's an overrated bait, you need to make a video that is what won't a Canadian walleye eat, and you just put a camera. You just put a camera down and keep jigging different baits, and you have to fish it like you're trying to catch it. And then every time you catch one, you're like, "God dang it!" and you just reel it up. You know what I mean? And then
And it
throw
needs to be
back, tie something
72
else.
hours of just jigging.
Yeah. I think it would actually be
I have
hilarious.
lots of time to
It's
go.
like
not
even
catch
little
fish.
ones,
Yeah.
just get
I don't
around
even have
like a
enough time
bunch
to
of
go
walleye.
catch fish. How am I supposed to find time to not go catch fish?
But like just cycle through, like you start with your baits at work and then you're like, okay, I've never used this color before. They bite it. You're like, okay, I haven't used this one before. And you just keep going and you're like, oh, son of a bitch, Canadian walleyes will bite anything.
I know we give you a hard time, Clayton, but I'm sure you have days and hours of footage
Oh, yeah.
where it doesn't look as easy as what's seen in the videos.
Oh,
where,
for
like,
sure.
You know
For
what I mean?
sure.
Like if you're from the States and you're not catching, you're like, well, it'd be easy if I was in Canada. That's not what's true. Like, you know what I mean?
It's like, yeah, our fishing is probably better. We have bigger fish, 100%, but it doesn't mean there's not a bunch of work that goes into it, right?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
the best is like you only catch that because where you are. Well, then if somebody comes from the States, we have lots of anglers that come up for the tournaments. They get smoked in all of them. Why is that? Because they don't know the body of water in that sense, right? Sure, it's easy, but it doesn't mean that there isn't a bunch of time put in to make it look easy. Like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
it's
All right.
Yeah.
So Sobe and I did this on the last one, but Pink and Clayton can dive in. What's a new piece of gear you're excited to use this year? Sobe and I kind of talked a bit about this on the last pod, but you boys can give shout out to anything, whatever.
A new piece of gear that I'm excited to use, like
Yeah,
ice,
it could be-
obviously ice.
Yeah, it could be sponsored or not.
Or
anything
not
you've
even
seen
that
out
you're
there.
excited to use a piece of gear that you're like,
That
that's
intrigued you.
That's interesting. I just saw it came out or like whatever.
mine would have to be honestly the Eskimo shacks that pack so small, like lengthwise. Because my one sleigh and one shack that I use, or my one sleigh that I use all the time, my 650 shack, it like always like would almost go out of the whole sleigh a little bit, and like it just never fit in there perfectly. And now it's like all of a sudden like a foot shorter than everything else. Like it's really cool.
It's a
So
sweet.
that's probably the newest thing that I'm excited for. The other one I can't announce till tomorrow.
Okay.
Well, you could
Well,
announce
it
it
won't
now.
be.
Well, this
it won't
isn't
be
coming
live
out till
till
Sunday.
so you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
talk
yeah. This
about
isn't
it.
live.
We will
Yeah,
definitely
no-
want to-
announce it.
We have new rods with frostbite.
Okay, cool. Oh,
Which
sweet.
one is there a specific one that you're like, oh yeah?
We just redid the whole lineup.
The whole
Different-
lineup.
Different handles, everything. Yes. I'm sure it's supposed to be by November 20th. There's a small chance I have to text you like you can't put this out yet, but I'm sure tomorrow. I'm sure they get released on the 20th.
Okay, yeah, just
Yeah.
text them and let me know. But it's coming out on
Like
Sunday.
if this
So
was live right now, I wouldn't have said it at all.
yeah, no, you're good. I can take it out if you need me to. All right, Pink, you got anything? That's exciting. I'm excited. To
I
see
guess
them.
I have two. One is maybe a lame one. I'm just excited to use it. Is I got a new heated vest situation.
Oh.
And just to kind of cut down on the layers required, you know. So pump runs on a little battery brick, very, dialed. And then I would say I don't know, China. It's not like a good one.
Don't turn it on at the start of your day.
Oh
Like,
no, you're right.
Turn it on like halfway through.
Yeah.
Because if you use it too early and it burns out, then you'll literally.
It's like NOS, you can't just rip it.
Don't hit the NOS right away. Save it a little bit. Yeah.
And then the other one, I am not sponsor plug at all, but I am pretty psyched to use that new that Maven auger that we got, because I've always used the drill plate ones like forever, and like to have one that's like all in like one thing is actually super cool. And then I can actually use my drill for like drill stuff.
Yeah, maybe
So,
don't burn on
I don't
the
know.
drill.
Not to interrupt anybody else, but I started finally using a drill for early season. Oh my goodness,
yeah.
it is amazing.
Yeah,
so nice. Yeah, so nice.
Last year I had a 10-inch one on a drill, but this year I actually got an 8-inch for like the stock trout and stuff. It's like, all these people are axing through the ice when it's 3 inches, and I'm just like, why? I'm like, this is
just
so
like
easy. This is so easy.
Yeah, but I am pumped to use that thing because it does seem like pretty sweet. In comparison to what I've been kind of ripping. So
I'm excited to use like just drill plate, whatever drill for till like we get to 10 inches. And then once it gets to 10 inches, when it gets annoying, go into that,
Yeah. Well, I like that it's all like trim. Like it's just very like, I don't know. It seems like it'll be easy to like use and stuff.
I agree. Okay. Next one. How many minnows does Clayton use in a year?
Not as many as people would think.
I like it.
I fish a lot of baitless stuff for walleye, especially. Okay. I feel like I met my buddy Adam Crawford. He was like, "You really trust like not using any type of bait for like walleyes in the winter?" I'm like, "Yeah, I just whether it's rattle baits or a spoon or whatever, right? Like a lot of those spoons have the best action when they don't have any bait on them, right? Like, don't get me wrong. I use a jig in the minnow for sure, but I'm not big for like tipping my spoons and stuff with bait. Like the odd time I'll use like an eyeball maybe on there a little bit, but the spoons move so much better without bait.
It's true, dude. Oh, that's so. It's just like such a fishing thing and a confidence thing too. Where like I still find myself like if I'm not tipping my spoon with a minnow head and I'm going for walleyes, I'm like, I don't know, like you know what I mean. Like you just like until you can break that thing where you feel confident in it without a minnow
you gotta
head,
catch
going for walleye. Like exactly, yeah. And it's like that for any facet of fishing. But like
I think Montana did that for me last year. Like I'm pretty good. I'm like pretty confident I can get. Not saying I'm pretty good at walleye fishing. I'm saying I'm good at the confidence.
You're content.
I don't need a bait to go catch one on a spoon.
You're also in the middle of Montana that they've never seen a bait for the past 50 years. Adam.
I've also watched.
If it's that easy, you come and do it.
Then I want you to go to the metro and catch like Adam. How many walleyes have you caught through the ice in the metro?
Well, a decent amount actually crappie fishing without bait.
You know what I mean though? Like until you go like I don't know. It's like
no, I know what you mean. I've just watched Adam Griffith catch everything that swims for 6 years without putting any live bait on at all.
But then there's places and times where you can go where you're like, I don't even think I can jig them. Like at least around maybe super high pressure areas. I don't know. Like we're just
remember to talk to your mic, Sobe. Remember to talk to your mic.
It's weird. That's just weird. Just different bodies of water, different areas, like different confidence things. Like
oh my god.
Okay, we continue on.
Okay,
Clayton, we did. I got to say this because you just asked about how many minnows or whatever. We had some of the NWT guys on here, and we asked them about how much money they spend on crawlers only in one season, and it was, I think it was north of like
how
$3
much?
grand.
Oh, dang.
Well, I already said it.
Yeah, I know. You're good.
That's I couldn't imagine. I couldn't.
Just
I really
crawlers.
couldn't imagine. So that's like we every for the couple of tournaments in Saskatchewan, like every year we like buy like the best leeches out there, right? Like the guy that traps them, like they're the biggest ones and all that stuff, and we get them, and it's like they're hardly swimming, and I'm like, what are we doing? We ended up using like no bait for the whole tournament and did fairly well, like in that sense, like just yeah.
All right. We can all go around here, but worst ice
All right.
fishing conditions you've been out in. One comes to my mind. I was actually with Sobe, and we talked about it slightly on the last episode with Rello. We were on Lake of the Woods, and it snowed like 15 inches. And we went out with JP to a little hard-sided shack and set up next to it. We were only we weren't outside of 4 Mile Bay. That would have been suicide. But we were like a mile or two out off with the trail, went there, and that was insane. That was so much snow.
It was just because it had like all three factors. It was like blowing sideways. It was probably blowing 20 something miles an hour. And then we got so much snow. And then the previous pack before that was like snow that was really wet. So everybody's four-wheelers were getting buried. Everything was buried. That was, it had like all three things that made everything horrible.
That would be mine. I'm trying to think of anything else, but I don't know if I can think of anything else. How about you guys?
I've been stuck in slush so bad with the sled before where I've spent like all day getting out. And then being like, like 30 miles away from the truck, and then you sled back to the truck and a trailer and just try to survive at that point. Like, yeah, that's probably slush. Slush is usually our worst stuff to deal with up here.
Yeah,
slush is horrible.
Slush
you, Ryan?
I don't know that I'm just thinking like it wasn't even fishing. It was just going when you guys got that track stuck on that snowmobile and we had a guy, we thought you guys died and we came back to try to find you guys. That was probably the worst I've ever been on. Like trying to drive a machine through that and being on like not barely enough ice. And like that whole operation was a problem.
Yeah. After stayed out too late after dark, 7 o'clock, drive back across the lake.
Just gale force wind in a snowstorm.
Gale force wind and a snow squall popped up. It only snowed like 2 inches, but in the time that we needed to
just
be
the whole
traveling,
thing.
It looked
the
like
whole thing was bad.
like Star Wars, like you're going light speed. That's what it looked like.
That was it. Yeah. You couldn't see anything. It was like you're driving just based on the map only. And we didn't know where you guys were. So that made it 10 times worse.
Yeah. We had to track seize up because it was glare ice when we were out. And then also that's why it was terrifying because normally you have snow on the ice so you can see sketchy areas or slush pockets or whatever. And then all of a sudden you're going 20, 30 miles an hour at night and there's no way to stop. You're on glare ice. So if there's an open pocket, which there was a couple on this lake, you would just drive straight into it without even knowing.
Yeah.
So
and somebody actually did do that like 3 days after we were there.
Someone did like a day or two later. They passed away. Yeah, on the same lake.
Oh.
So that was very, very humbling, hollowing moment. But yeah,
I would say that was probably my
I want to throw a little side blurb in here. The story that Bart brought up. Do you want to tell it, Adam? Of JP driving the snowmobile away with me attached.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
That's
part.
On that same day, dude.
No, you have to talk about that. That's the only time I've ever heard you yell at someone. Oh, it was so funny.
Dude.
And it was Jean-Paul Tessier. If anybody knows JP,
Jean-Paul Tessier,
dude in the world.
Amazing dude, ex-NHL player. He's now a guide on Lake of the Woods, and we were fishing with him and taking some folks out. And this is at the time when we were almost like we were doing YouTube or Facebook videos.
Yeah, we were filming because we had a couple guys with us. Yeah,
but we had
a dad
like
and his son.
our handy cam gear for like very cheap gear, but at the time it was like gold to us, right? And we were bringing it inside because it was blowing sideways, horrible slush. We had got everybody out there. I was like, I need to unthaw this camera gear and wipe it down. Like I thought we were gonna ruin it all. And I'm in the shack that's attached to JP's snowmobile, by bars. And I'm heating it up, warming it up. I'm not even fishing in there. I'm just like warming everything up and wiping it down. Cause Clayton and everything. Sometimes there can be so much condensation, all this, you wipe it off. It's wet in a second, wipe it off, wet in a second. And I'm just like letting everything dry, and it's just blowing sideways. And they're in maybe a hub that we've got really pinched down to the ice. And then somebody else is in a skid shack or something. And I finally get all this camera gear like dried out, and I'm like, okay, now I'm gonna go mic some people up, and we're gonna film this, dude. It's gonna be good. Like we're so ready. This has been such an adventure just to get here, and it's blowing pretty hard, and I can just hear it, and I'm like, oh, he started his snowmobile up, and then I hear everything shift, and it's blowing so hard, and it's so white, he didn't even realize that the ice shack is flipped up attached to his snowmobile because he probably can't see.
He was going to check on a permanent house. He needed to check on someone.
He takes off, and I'm attached behind him with all the camera gear, and the house flipped up, and I just go. And I grab his camera gear, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs, stop, please, God, stop. And I'm talking the loudest I've ever screamed because I'm 100%. Flying down the ice now. I'm attached, dude. I'm attached. It's unbelievable, dude. It's like it would be a Saturday Night Live skit. It's a joke, dude. And I'm like, but I'm
and
like,
remember also,
scared,
it is white out, blizzard snowing, Lake of the Woods. Like it's not like nice peaceful day. It's like horrendous conditions, and all you hear is stop, please, God.
And just a lot of swears, like I was a lot of swearing.
There's that viral video where the guy's in the shack and filming, and all of a sudden it starts to take off.
Yeah.
Yes, I've seen that. It's got.
That's what makes me think of. It's like that.
If he would have filmed this, it would have been our first and only viral video ever.
Oh man. Okay. All right. Continue on. It was. That's bad condition.
All right. What else you got? Any more of them?
Craziest wildlife you've encountered on the ice, Clayton?
Or
I would say any of us.
Wolves probably would be the coolest one. That was like about 50, 60 yards away. That's cool. Otters have been really cool. I just saw an otter the other day. I was not too far from it. That was cool. But probably the wolves, I'd say. Yeah. Like 3 or 4 wolves.
That's cool.
My coolest will be in a couple episodes that comes out. We were driving to go we were driving to go ice fishing, and all of a sudden we were like, holy shit, there's an elk herd right next to us. And they were just running with us.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, we got into the elk.
That was
Did we actually get footage? Did you guys get video of that?
No, because Boots we didn't have the camera out right there. There was actual reasons we did not. So we did not get footage of it, and I was like, that would have been really cool, but we were doing what we're supposed to do. So
they were nice bulls. They was cool.
Yeah. And it was just like majestically running by us on the road, like at the same speed. You're like, huh, interesting.
I don't know if I've seen too much on that. I've had muskrats swim up the hole before. That always got me going.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll say 2, and they're basically not for me. One I was there, one I wasn't. Same deal as you. Years ago, we were young. Steph hooks up through the ice, and she fished she was fishing like wicked shallow, like right by the steep bank, but she's probably only in like 6-7 feet of water. She's like, oh, dude, it's big. And we were like pan fishing, and she's like, I don't know what this is, but it's big. And it comes up the hole, dude, and it's a muskrat backwards. And she had hooked on the leg. I get him on the ice, and he starts peel and drag. I'm like, oh no. And I like unhook him, and I put him right down the hole. And Steph's not like a girly girl by any means, but she was screaming, dude, and that freaked me out. It freaked me out. And then another one from Steph's the wildlife attractor. This year she was hunting like pretty close to our house here, and she had like a real full-grown badger come right underneath her stand and start kind of rutting around and
Really?
digging around. And I've never seen a badger in the wild, and I don't think she has either. So I thought that was pretty cool. And she's got footage of it, so it wasn't
Badgers
BS.
are mean.
I don't know. I've never seen one.
They're wicked. They're wicked.
They're cool. They're wicked cool looking.
I think I've only ever seen one once dead on the side of a road, but I've never seen
that's
one
even
actually
rare.
out. Yeah, no,
There's
you
a-
don't see them very much.
There's a bunch of them in South Dakota.
Is
Oh,
there?
really?
Mm-hmm.
Like, have you seen them dead, or you just like seen them?
No, alive. Yeah, hunting out there. Yeah.
Wow,
Huh.
weird.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, we got a last one. Thoughts on,
All
and I don't know if Canada, I almost said Canada, allows this, Clayton, but thoughts on new law in Minnesota allowing hook setting devices.
I think it's amazing.
Do you guys have that or no?
We do. We can use. I was using jaw jackers on my first video of the year, and I actually made a mistake because I said they're illegal. They're legal in Minnesota now, and I have to correct myself in my next video because it's March, correct?
I actually think that, so I'm confused on this as well.
Now.
But I thought it got put into effect starting immediately. And then there's some stuff that says March 1st, but then there's some articles that say it's starting this ice season. And like I saw Clam posted like it and said that like they cited an article that said it starts this ice season. So I don't know. I can text. I'll text a DNR guy.
Well,
Maybe
Hey,
the guy
so
that
I got a
wrote the
question-
article thinks ice fishing starts March 1st.
I'm
we did-
texting.
So we chatted about this on an earlier episode when this news kind of came out or whatever. But do you use them for anything other than trout fishing?
I would maybe consider using them for walleye now, maybe.
But
I definitely
maybe.
wouldn't use them for. I don't want to use them for pike. I don't want to use them for lake trout. I just don't feel like they jack them hard enough. All that being said, I put a hook into my finger the other day, like right to the, like right to the end. Thankfully, it's barbless, but still, it's not easy to pull out because But I just don't know with the bigger fish if they jack them hard enough. I think, and then it's like, then you got to be right there too to grab the rod so fast so it doesn't like rip it in half. I feel like.
Well, we were just talking about like different applications of it, and it just seemed like trout was kind of like the main deal. But I mean, I don't know.
Like, have you
Perch.
used them for
I think
walleye
really
heavy?
good for perch.
Perch.
Oh, perch, yeah, because they
Perch
nip
would
on
be
stuff so much.
Real good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So crappie wouldn't be a thing you'd ever use them for?
I mean, you could, but I feel like their mouth is too soft that you might tear it out.
You can set it, I think so. Maybe not.
Well, I
Wouldn't you
suppose it
just-
would depend what kind of rod you have.
Rod.
Right?
That would depend a lot on
use
the
a pretty
rod,
soft
yeah.
rod.
Yeah. Use a very noodly glass rod. Or
I'd
something
like to
that.
try it. I mean, just because we don't really get to use them, but
I just don't know, like when a crappie upbites you, do they spit them out really fast sometimes, or will they eat it and turn, or is it like?
I
they
think
eat it
it'll.
from-
They'll
I mean,
eat.
if it's a minnow, like,
Yeah.
you know.
Right. I get. Yeah. I don't know. I've used them for trout fishing, and they're honestly so awesome. Like they're so easy to
Yeah.
set up too.
Yeah, I'm excited to be able to mess with that now that it's actually a thing. It's also kind of outrageous that we were like literally the last people to do that.
Especially when you start to do like fish conservation and stuff like that. Like I obviously run different style tip ups for like pike and for walleye, but I really encourage people like to get there as fast as you can and set it right away. Like I'm not one of those like, oh, let him take it again and let him keep eating it. It's like, no, just get there and hit it right away. Because the chances are the bait's already down far enough. Like, and if it's not, it's probably not a big enough fish anyway. So who cares?
It's true.
That's fair enough.
The big ones will put they'll take that whole smelt or Cisco or whatever, and it'll be gone. Like, so.
Oh yeah. All right. Well, I'm through all the questions, but boys, you got anything else for Clayton? Or I feel like this has been a hell of a kick off the ice season conversation for all the people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I want you.
I'm ready
I
to
want,
pack her in. My season's almost done. I've been on for 3 days. I'm
Oh,
good.
come on.
I want Clayton to give 1 or 2 suggestions to ice anglers going into the season. It could be broad, it could be specific, it could be whatever you want, but like you have, a wealth of knowledge. on the ice? Like what's one or two suggestions you have?
Go try something different that you've never done before. That's completely out of your element, or you've never thought about doing it. Get out of your uncomfort zone, because even if it's the same species on a new lake, you'll develop more as an angler, and you'll learn more. And don't if you're only a walleye fisherman, only a crappie fisherman, venture out and fish for different species, because you'll be surprised how many times you can bring what you learned from one species into another species, right? Like maybe you're a really, really good walleye fisherman, you go crappie fishing, you learn something, you're like, wow, this might really work for walleye, and you can adapt it over.
I feel like ice fishing, it's so much easier to be multi-species than in a boat as well. Like it's just more attainable. You know what I mean?
Totally. And the second one would be just don't get stuck in the rut of doing the same thing over and over. Like in terms of the spot, you probably go to, a certain lake and you always fish the same spot, X amount of times. And that's the spot you always go because you got confidence in it. The only way to gain confidence in something something else is to score, and you'll gain confidence in that new area too. So
totally.
And fish shallower. Fish shallower than you've ever fished before, because the shallows are alive.
Oh, hell yeah, they are.
Are alive.
I do got another one for you. It was one I had actually scrolled by, and I thought about it when Sobe said it. So for people who use houses a lot more than we do, since we spend a lot of times outside in our elements, but people were asking questions. How do you cover a lot of water by using a house? Or like, how do you stay mobile? Like, are you a guy that just like, you know what I mean? Do you just like pick an area on a map and stick it out? Like, what's your advice to people who, they more of want to set up in their fish trap or maybe ice camp or be mobile? Like, how do you break down water?
Or ice camp or anything like that? Like, moving around is not an option. It takes you so long to set everything up. It's like especially if I winter camp, it's like you do all that work to set up. The last thing you want to do is take everything down and reset it up somewhere else. My biggest advice would be try to have something where you can be a little bit mobile from your camp. Like have your camp set up, maybe have a small flip over or something like that you can just go adventure for a couple hours during the day. But
so you're telling people, like, if you're an ice camper, like have a big hub house, right? Like Clam has X 1200 or 600. Eskimo has, I don't know, whatever ones you run, Clayton.
The 850.
Yeah. Have a big hub, but then bring a one-man flip over.
Yeah, of something like that, or a smaller hub. Or if it's nice out, go fish outside for a couple hours somewhere, during the middle of the day. But moving around when you're winter camping, or even like an ice castle or something like that, like I find that's not really an option. Like it's so
or even
hard.
A better question is like, what are you doing? Because like obviously, like you've got such an amazing rig you set up with so many underwater cameras and everything, and this, it's like, before you truly set up shop with your hub, are you dropping down underwater cameras to make sure you're by exactly what you want to see? Like, I'm right by the break, I'm right by a transition, I'm right by gravel or rock, or like, you're utilizing the map with underwater cameras, probably with your live scope as well?
All three of those: the map, the underwater camera, and the live scope, right? Like, obviously it's a lot easier if you're just going to a waypoint with something you fished before, but nothing's worse than trying to go set up for winter camp on a brand new lake. Like, it's so tough. Like, I always try to fish a lake a couple times with day trips, or stay at maybe a lodge or something like that if you're ever going to winter camp there, so you can kind of fish around a little bit and then be like, okay, this is where I'm setting up my camp. No matter what, you're going to get your camp fully set up. No matter what lake you go to, no matter what spot, you're going to have it set up, and you're going to, in the back of your mind, you're going to be like, should I have been 20 feet over to the right? And you're going to pan with your live scope, and you're going to see fish over there, and you're going to go, man, that's where I need to be. But I guarantee if you were over there, you'd be panning over to your other spot, be like, that's where I need to be, right? Where humans, we're always looking for, the grass is greener on the other side always.
I do have an update for people on auto hook setting devices.
Oh,
okay.
It is March 1. So
really,
Clayton, you were correct.
Okay, so I have to my next video, I have to make that clear, because I'm like, my video, I'm like, yeah, they're now legal in Minnesota. This is amazing. Yay.
Who did you message, Adam?
Scott McIntyre. He works for the fisheries department.
Why wait that long? That makes no sense.
It's not his decision. If Scott made the decision, it would be
that I understand. I wasn't. Yeah.
But it'll basically be after ice season.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
He said
March
he's
1.
double checking, but what he saw was March 1st. So I will update if there's anything different.
Alert. 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 An important announcement.
Okay, so this is this is post recording with Clayton. We had a great time, but also we dove more into the automatic hook setting device thing because also we looked back at that convo and we're like, wow, that was probably really fucking confusing for everyone because
Also,
it was
we made
really
that up,
confusing for us
so.
too.
This
So
is
hand up.
This is a PTB PSA right here.
Yeah, so we did go look into this more and chatted with people we know in the DNR more. So thank you, Scott. Sent us a news release that actually came out 2 days ago. So this is probably important for everyone because it clarifies information from the Minnesota DNR. Automatic hook setting devices will be allowed starting with the 25-26 ice fishing season. So non-motorized devices that set the hook using the force of a spring device or the force of a bent fishing pole are now legal for use in Minnesota while ice fishing. The hook setting component of any device must be non-motorized. Motorized jigging devices that are not designed to set the hook are considered legal. The device must not be capable of automatically reeling the fishing line or retrieving the fish.
So they're legal.
Yeah, these devices are triggered automatically when a set bait is hit by a fish. So that's why they're being used. So they'll be legal starting the ice season.
As soon as there's ice, game on.
Yeah. So that was our we needed to clarify that because also obviously Clayton's going to be talking about it in his video, and it is very pertinent, important legal information we get out to people. So that is it for you.
Back to your normal paid programming.
But
Jaw
I
jacked.
like what you were saying about with that, Clayton, with the houses too, because something I never even thought of too. It's for people that ice camp is like, yeah, you're going ice camping with a hub, but that doesn't mean you only need to have one house. Like you have this giant setup and everything. Bring something small and mobile. Like that's actually really smart. I never even thought of that.
Yeah, it's nice to have your home base, but if you can be a little bit mobile from it, right? Like it helps a lot.
Well, that's sweet. Pink, you got anything, or are we going to let Clayton get to his evening?
No, I think he's been more than generous with his time here this evening. But we're stoked that you came on. We hope you smash it this season. We'll all be watching and can't wait to jump into your guys' tournaments too.
Hopefully we get to do a little collab. Yeah.
In the weeks of the Frostbite Winter Rumble.
Yes. We're bringing on some hardware. I know it.
All right. Thanks for coming on, Clayton.
Thank you so much, Clayton.
Thanks for having me, boys. I appreciate it. And we'll do it again whenever you want.
All right. Sounds good, man.
See you guys.
Peace.
All right. That was Clayton Schick, the man, the myth, the legend.
And if you guys are not yet following Clayton, follow him on Clayton Schick Outdoors on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook. He's an incredible angler, and the production and the videos he puts together are so sweet because he normally has like 3 or 4 things going. And what I mean by that is he usually has an underwater shot. He has his FFS shot. He has the shot of him setting the hook and potentially a side cam or a back cam or the whole cam. Like it's to get everything he sees is exactly what you would see from a viewer. And it's like, I feel like from the perspective of what is the angler looking at and digesting, you get to see everything Clayton does. So his videos are really, really cool. So definitely go check him out. And he's just a freaking salty earth dude. Like he's awesome.
He's a hog smasher.
Yeah. Yeah.
He catches bigger fish than anyone else on YouTube every year. But all right. That was awesome. Now, I guess we got 2 more segments. We can rip them off real quick, I think, boys. And then we can call this one a night, or we can just call it a night. But we got 2 good segments, too. What are you guys feeling?
Let's hit one more segment.
I think we should get to this weigh-in, potentially.
Yeah.
We can do the weigh-in. We can skip. We'll do the other one another time. All right, weigh-in.
All right.
Who's keeping notes? Weigh-in for people who are not familiar and maybe new here. This is a round table snake draft, basically, where we draft the best or worst of whatever the desired topic is. We put the graphic up on social media. You guys all vote for it. One day we might end up having punishments for winners and losers, but that'll only happen after Sobe is retributed for actually going through on a punishment. So now, weigh in. This week is the best pizza toppings.
Ooh.
So just to clarify here, this is pizza toppings, not we did pizza flavors before or frozen pizza flavors. This is like you pick a single topping
Ooh.
as you go. So you can't be like, oh, all meat. It's like, okay. So
Right. These have to be very specific.
very specific. They're individual
ingredients,
like
right?
things you put on your pizza or individual ingredients. And I think you leave out the base. Obviously it's on pizza, so you leave out the basics of crust, sauce, cheese. Like that is very important for it. Specific cheese you can maybe add on, or a specific sauce, but you get what I mean. It's assuming that stuff is there.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
get it out.
This is an individual item that would be on the pizza.
Yes. How are we going to go in draft order? How do we want to go about this, boys?
That is a great question.
How about we all pick a random number 1 through 100, and I'll ask ChatGPT to pick a number 1 through 100, and then we'll just go on whoever's closest is first, and then we'll go through there.
Okay. Yep.
I like it.
Pick a number, Pink.
I'm gonna go with 37.
Okay, Sobe.
37 is our buddy Mav's unlucky number. That's so funny. I'm not even kidding. You could ask Google. I'll go with number 29.
Text him that right now.
Just text him 30.
37.
Text him 37 and say nothing else.
Oh,
I swear.
Okay.
For all of our young listeners, 67.
I texted him.
ChatGPT said, sure, 47. So who is the closest?
Ooh, I think I take that one.
I think
And then
Pink.
what? And then it would be Sobe,
Yeah.
and then me. All right, cool. Who's keeping notes?
I got it.
All right, Pink, you're up first.
Okay. The lead off, the one of pizza ingredients. Wow. Seems like a heavy pick here. I mean, I'm just gonna take what I believe to be just the natural. I'm taking Italian sausage.
One of one.
I mean, I feel like you have to.
Okay. That is not what I would have taken number 1, but okay.
Well,
Okay.
good thing you didn't have it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sobe, you are up.
I have to pick it. I'm a sucker for it. I love pepperoni.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like
I
that's the
pepperoni.
widely regarded number 1
Like,
pizza
that is
topping.
I really
Extra
not even in
pepperoni.
my top 5 favorite pizzas.
You write it down for me. Extra pepperoni.
Well, you can't. It's just you got pepperoni.
It's so good.
It's not. But
All right, Adam.
All right. I get 2 back to back. So I will go with, feel like the start of this is probably going to be quite meat heavy. Next 2, I'm going to go with next one. I'm going to go with some chicken.
Ooh. Yeah.
Because I think chicken is a very great pizza topping. And then I think very underrated, but no, I'm not going to go that one actually right now.
Do it.
I'm going to go pepperoncinis or banana peppers, whatever you call them.
It's really good. Yeah, really good on pizza for sure.
okay, nice. Sobe.
I'm gonna go Canadian bacon. I do love Canadian bacon. And then I'm gonna go with a classic here.
Whoa. You only get one.
No, you're not up. It's Pink. Pink's back to back now.
Oh.
Okay. Now I go back to back here.
You can say some roasted squirrel.
Bart kind of took one of mine, but so I'm just gonna let it be, I think. even though I feel like I could still squeeze it in. I'm taking this back to our Politos days here, Sobe. I'm gonna say mac and cheese.
Oh my gosh.
That is a very good one.
I didn't even think about that. And I will say, where Ryan and I went to college, there's a place called Politos, and they have phenomenal pizza.
Incredible.
Phenomenal. Dave
And
Portman.
God, are they open late? They're open after bar close.
Great pick.
All right. And then on the wrap around here, I am going to take the highly controversial pineapple on pizza.
Ooh. That is controversial.
That is very controversial.
I totally understand that so many folks love it. It's a fan favorite. I personally do not like it.
Wait, you did? Oh, you did get 2 in a row. That's right. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
That was you're at 3 now. I thought you were at 4 for a
I'm at
second.
3.
Just kidding. Yeah. You're at
Now
3.
it's back
Okay.
to Sobe.
Yep.
I'm going to do a classic, and this is just Parmesan cheese, dude. It's really good on pizza. It's just every pizza
And like
joint.
you're talking like sawdust parm.
I'm talking sawdust Parmesan cheese.
Yeah, yeah.
Do I get another or no?
No, now it's me. I got 2,
No.
and then I'm back up. I'm gonna go with my gut on this one. Just what I think people and I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Best pizza toppings. A ranch drizzle. Ranch. Everybody likes ranch on pizza.
That's a good one.
Yep.
And then for my last one, I'm going to go. It's what I was debating taking last time, but I didn't. I truly think it is actually the best pizza topping, but I knew it wasn't going to get taken early. If you guys haven't had salami on pizza is fucking awesome. It's really, really good. So I would say that. I just think it's a really good pizza topping.
Nice. I like that. All right, so we back to you for your last pick here.
This is my last pick, and I want you guys, it's going to sound like 2 words, but I want you to know they're together. This is steak and fry. Okay? It's a flavor from Politos.
Steak fry.
Steak fry.
I think I would allow that.
Would you allow it?
I have no
It's
idea
really
what he's even talking about, so I gotta allow it.
it's steak and French fries
on a pizza.
Yeah, but that's 2 different items.
Okay, so you have to pick one because
mac and cheese is one item.
Incredible.
So I have to pick one.
Yeah, you have to pick one. It would have to be steak or fries.
All right, I'll go with this then. I'll just go with bacon.
That's a great option. I was debating taking. I should have taken bacon earlier, I believe.
Yeah, I had that on my list too. I just didn't.
We got to bring Adam to Politos, dude.
God, it's fucking good. That steak fry pizza is phenomenal, by the way. Phenomenal. And that, dude, I think they got a Philly cheesesteak one. Incredible.
Yeah.
Garlic knots, give it to me.
And I love their mac pizza, dude.
Dude, everything they have is just fuego. Okay, sorry. Last one. God, I kind of wanted this. I just feel like I can't get on Bart's thing here. I'm gonna go all right. I'm taking white sauce.
Yeah, I think that's an awesome pick. White sauce, whatever it is just great.
Yeah.
White sauce. Okay. All right.
Honorable mentions. What were you thinking on that you were
barbecue chicken? Barbecue chicken.
Yeah. That's a big one.
Yep.
Barbecue chicken. I should have taken buffalo chicken, but I was like, chicken in general.
Both are great options.
Yeah.
Both are.
Here's an honorable mention.
I was panicking at that pick because I really wanted to take salami, but then I was like, I'm going to get salami at the end. Why would I take it now? And I just kind of blurted out chicken. But I was debating bacon too. But yeah,
Here's
I do other one I was strongly debating that I did not go to is I think red pepper flakes.
Yes, great pick.
Great pizza topping.
Great. Yeah.
So I've never had this, but I've seen other people do it. Like, have you guys ever put honey on your pizza?
Yeah, it just makes it a little sweet. I don't
I've
think
never
it
done
makes a
it. I don't
huge
know if it's an
difference.
honorable
Honey.
mention. Yeah.
I've always been pretty big on the ranch / hot sauce grind
Yeah,
on pizza. Really like that.
Like
Yeah.
you're saying you're mixing it together, or you're just drizzling that, then drizzling that.
Like
Both.
a double drizz, like ranch, then hot sauce, you know.
I would agree.
Dude, I had one of the best pizzas I ever had was a shrimp pizza, and then it had ranch and hot sauce on it, and it was fucking good, dude. So
I
good.
I gotta say this on the pod, and I understand it exists out there maybe more than I think, but like traveling around ice fishing, especially since we're talking ice fishing, traveling around ice fishing with Hayes,
Mhm.
he doesn't like ranch, like despises it. And I've
Really?
Really?
yes,
That's very un-Minnesotan.
and it's really
Does he know it's good?
I don't know. It's really tough to be around, dude. Like a picture somebody not being like, "Oh no, I
Seems
don't need ranch,"
toxic.
being like, "I hate ranch," and I'm like, "Really?" Because it goes great on fries, pizza, any chicken sandwich,
Anything,
about
really.
1,000 other things, and despises it. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. Especially like because I got to feel like you guys are hitting up like a lot of small bars. They probably have like a house buttermilk ranch that is just
Yeah,
you could
Dude,
drink.
when you hit a restaurant with a good ranch, you're like, oh yeah,
Runny ranch, dude. Runny
Ruddy
fucking
ranch is
Yeah.
king.
like a bar house made ranch is always
Yeah.
gas.
Runny ranch is king. But yeah, I'm trying to think
You
of
ever
any
had a
others.
spaghetti pizza, dude?
I have not.
No,
It's good, dude. So when we were, this is funny. This is also Steven's point thing. So when we were there, because I worked at Bill's Pizza for a long time, which was right down the street from Polito's, you know,
oh,
and
man.
they had a spaghetti pizza there that was like so goddamn good, dude.
I didn't know you worked at
Unbelievable.
Bill's Pizza.
Yeah, for like a long time. Yeah.
That's funny. I never had that. I'm trying to think
It's
of any
good,
other
dude.
toppings that I would consider like A1
Staple.
toppings.
Like
Yeah.
onions.
I don't. But if I'm missing it on my pizza, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a huge
Yeah.
deal.
I mean, I just feel like it's like meat. Like I want a bunch of meat on there.
Yeah, and I went. I am one of the
Pepperoncinis
few
was a
that
great pick, though. That's one of my favorite pizza toppings, actually.
pepperoncinis is just there. You can get any flavor of pizza
Good.
made and throw pepperoncinis on it,
Yeah,
and it's
white
better
sauce, red sauce, chicken, beef,
every
whatever,
time.
dude.
Here's an honorable mention, and I don't know if I'd call it a topping, but I'd call it a bottoming. And you can do this with a frozen pizza for sure. But my crazy neighbor Archie, who's like 1,000 years old, dude, when he makes his frozen pizzas, whether it be in his pizza oven or the grill or down at the old oak tree, is while it's frozen, he flips it over. He'll like microwave some butter and then lather the bottom with butter, and he puts on this country kitchen seasoning. So he has like a seasoned bottom to his crust.
Oh
And
yeah,
it's
That sounds
gas, dude. So just take your favorite seasoning, put it on the bottom of your frozen pizza as it's still rock hard, but you kind of like you did a little ladle on of butter
Yeah.
first, and then make it,
Mhm.
and you're gonna be like, holy balls! Like take your favorite seasoning.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be country kitchen, but that was like it's a bottoming,
yeah.
not a topping.
Yeah.
I'm
I
trying to
like
think of any others. We'll probably get yelled at for something like hot sauce in general, buffalo sauce,
Yeah.
stuff like that's always
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
But it's a lot. It's we're Midwest. It's meat.
I think
heavy
we
and
hit
then
some
other
home
stuff.
runs here, though. You know,
Yeah,
like I would say, like artichokes is one that I do kind of like. I don't know if you ever had.
I do not like. Yeah, I have. I'm not big on them.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Archie.
I kind of dig that, but I don't know. I feel like pizza doesn't have to be that complicated, you know.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Just good pizza.
I will say though, I definitely white sauce pizza is my jam. Any pizza, white sauce, game on.
Yeah, I would say as well. I'm gravitating more to the white sauce as I age and get more heartburn. It is substantial how much less heartburn you get with white sauce compared to red sauce. So there's a little hack for you. My heartburn.
Well, I guess I
Well,
haven't hit the
genetic people.
geriatric level as you, but I definitely like the white sauce.
Well, I like the white sauce in general. I'm just telling you, like, if you want a pizza and you deal with heartburn at night, I know there's people listening that feel me right now. Get the white sauce, not the red sauce, and you will feel much better.
Or to be honest, just eat bacon. Forget the pizza.
Yeah.
Bacon's gas.
But
All right.
I think that was another great pod for the week. A lot of stuff coming.
Schick. Unreal.
Clayton Schick, great time. A lot of stuff coming. Episode 100 coming up. Let us know what you want to see on it. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Keep subscribing, commenting, and interacting with everything. Yeah, we'll keep taking this thing to the moon. We'll keep getting bigger, heading into the new year and heading into another great ice season. Maybe we'll have another pod before St. Paul. Maybe not. I'm not sure. Either way, we'll all be there. It's ice season. It's about to get really fucking cold.
Happy ice season, folks.
All right. See you guys on the next one.
Peace.